The Jason Gregor Show.
First and goal with 30 seconds left. Now Lawrence goes down, has to get up. Breaks it. Touchdown, Jason Gregor.
On Sports 1440.
Churiel to try. Center field. Way back there.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Now Eto'o. Clock closing. Cross-side pass. Right side of swing. Score! Leon single. In overtime, the Edmonton Oilers tie the series. 2 games apiece.
Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Always the Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. We'll get Cons over to come and put up our stickers behind us. That would be great. Coming up on the show today, we are going to talk. The NHL season is back, and also MLB, the Jays in action. They could have the sweep tonight against the Yankees, but we'll have all sorts of talk. We'll have some interactive sessions with you because we got a few questions. I'm not going to go over all 16 playoff teams. I think people would get pretty bored with that. So I'm going to say we're going to go a little bit more specific, some division winners for teams. Simple questions of playoff team last year that is out, non-playoff team, or teams that are in this year. Who you feel confident can go from being a non-playoff team last year to making the playoffs this year? Is there anyone that you like, that you feel confident in? Feel free to let us know. We can do that. So that would be good. Also, we will discuss as we have a pretty big lineup today. I like it. We'll hear from Justin Rankin. Big week for Edmonton sports fans. We got the best player in the order signed. You got the best player on the double E on the Elks, Justin Rankin. Yeah, he signs contract extension, multi-year deal with the green and gold. Dave McCarthy will be by. Struddy, Speck, DVD. We're going to hear from Connor McDavid as well as Leon Draisaitl. Some thoughts from Jake Wallman. Also, head coach Chris Knobloch. I can tell you pretty confidently if you're already strategizing, you're planning on what is going to be the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. They were on the ice today, except Ike Howard, because the Oilers don't have a roster spot for him, because they had to have recall Hamblin yesterday and reassign Howard to the AHL because Howard has a $950 cap hit, while James Hamlin comes in at $775, and they came $834 under the cap. So obviously they didn't have the extra money to fit in Howard, so they had to move him and Hamlin for a day, and that meant that Howard wasn't on the ice today, but he will be in Edmonton for tomorrow, and expect him to play on a line with Henrique and Tomasic. Adam Henrique is going to play center on that line. Tomasic right wing. Howard will be the left winger. Philp's going to center. Kapanen and Podkolzin. Fast, bigger line. They're looking for some speed, look for a little identity from that line, physicality. And really, like, Noah Philp couldn't ask for a better opportunity here. He's got to come in here and show some physical play. Skate well, do all those things, but get engaged. Play like you do in the minors. He's fought some tough guys in the minors. He's done very well for himself. I think that's something he needs to do. Nugent Hopkins with Mangiapane and Savoy, and then, of course, McDavid, Draisaitl, and Frederick. Now, these lines are obviously not going to be set in stone all season long. When Zach Hyman comes back, I think we could see a lot of things change, per se, but That's what they're going to start with. Curtis Lazar will be the extra forward to start the season. On the back end, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse will play with Regula and Kulak and Emberson. So Troy Stetcher looks like he'll be the healthy body out of the lineup for game one. Stu Skinner obviously starting in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Down south, because the Oilers are playing the Flames. The Flames will be playing in Edmonton tomorrow, and then they're in Vancouver on Thursday. They start with the back-to-back. The Flames, their roster looks to be like this. Now, they got some injuries. Huberdeau's hurt. He's not starting. So they'll have Kadri centering Klapka and Farabee, Frost with Coronado and Gridden. You got Backlund between Coleman and Zari, Kirkland with Sharon Govich. Sharon Govich on the fourth line to start the season. What the hell's going on? We'll go to Calgary tomorrow to touch on that a little bit more. Also, we'll hear from the back end is going to be Uyghur and Hanley, Anderson and Ball, Pahal and Bean. The young Perrick, Zane Perrick, doesn't look like he's going to play. Pospisil is the other guy who's banged up. So Calgary's got some injuries. Then, of course, the new $7.5 million man, Mr. Wolf, will start in goal for the Calgary Flames. Tomorrow, Connor McDavid spoke. Nothing new. He just, he said, hey, why the number made sense on AAV, why the number made sense on term. I'll let you hear from him as to what was his answer for both of those. Also, we'll talk a little Jays, because it's playoffs, baby. Who doesn't love the playoffs? Are you kidding me? It's fantastic. And the Toronto Blue Jays have a chance to move on to the ALCS tonight. Meanwhile, you've got 3 of the 4 series, 2-0. Cubbies down 2-0. The LA Dodgers went into Philadelphia and won. That's the one difference. They're going back home for game 3. Meanwhile, Toronto and Milwaukee will be on the road when they lead 2-0. Seattle and Detroit, they are the only series that is tied at 1, and that's where they are at right now. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us in our inbox. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where, if you haven't been there, they got the new app. Check it out. Also, did you know Leon Draisaitl, Dustin Wolf are our new spokesman people for Play Alberta across the province, representing both the Oilers and the Calgary Flames. So a few little special things. Go check out the odds for Leon Draisaitl to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. Check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. The NHL begins tonight. The Florida Panthers, they had their ring ceremony yesterday. You saw the rings online. Obviously, they're pretty nice. They will host the Chicago Blackhawks. Personally, big news. Nephew signed a contract with the Florida Panthers yesterday, so good for him. Now a member of the Cats. His cousin, not so much a big fan of it, but that's okay. It's funny. The Blackhawks are in Florida tonight. A big banner raising ceremony for the Panthers. The Rangers will host Pittsburgh. Sheloff's starting in goal tonight for Pittsburgh. And the LA Kings are hosting the Colorado Avalanche. And Scott Wedgwood is starting for the Avs because Mackenzie Blackwood isn't ready to go yet. So some already, the goaltending question marks, man, they're all around the NHL. Lots of different teams have them. I know some people think Edmonton's the only one who has some. It's not, far from it. So we'll see how it plays out. Con man, what is your thoughts on the Jays tonight with a chance to sweep the Yankees?
I mean, it's quite the opportunity, right? And of course, they afforded themselves opportunity with the work they put in over the weekend at home. I think it's going to be tough. I think the closing game is the toughest one to win, and we haven't seen this core group of guys get it done yet. We've seen them make it to the playoffs. We've seen them lose in the playoffs, but they haven't eliminated a team. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the Yankees are a veteran team. They've been through this. They've been through World Series, and I don't think the panic for them maybe has kicked in quite yet. Obviously, this is more truer than in other situations, but you're not out of it till you lose at home, and that's the New York Yankees mindset, I'm sure. And they just got to find a way to get the game done in front of them. But for the Blue Jays, having that opportunity, getting what you got out of the team, they're feeling good, and now you're sending in Shane Bieber, who's been there. He's done this before. I think he's the guy who might be one of the top guys who was well equipped to go into the Bronx and have success. So I'm fired up for it. Evening baseball in New York is kind of the pinnacle for me when it comes to Major League Baseball playoffs. So looking forward to it.
NFL last night, the Kansas City Chiefs losers to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, if you would have polled all of you NFL fans and said, which team is going to have a better record, the Ravens, the Jaguars, or the Chiefs? None of you would have picked the Jaguars, myself included. But here we are, 5 games into the season, and the Colts are 4-1. The Jaguars are 4-1. The Bills are 4-1. The Eagles, Detroit Lions, Buccaneers, and the 49ers are all tied for the best record in football. Some people probably could get behind the Bucs and the Lions and the Eagles, sure. The Bills, definitely. Colts, I don't know. And definitely not the Jaguars. But the Jaguars, they come back from a 14-0 deficit last night. That doesn't happen against the Chiefs. And you know what? You throw a pick six, like what? Basically, the game changed right there. You're in the inside the 10-yard line. Mahomes throws an interception. Jaguars return it. Pretty much changes the whole game. And the Chiefs, well, lucky enough for the Chiefs, the Chargers, after starting 3-0, have lost 2 in a row. The Broncos are 3-2. So the Chiefs are only 1 game out of first place. But they do have the Detroit Lions this coming weekend. But it's wide open, man. It is wide open, Connor Halley. The New England Patriots are 3-2, for goodness sakes. And the AFC North looks like the sad sack division of the AFC right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think when you look at that, it makes more sense why the Bengals did what they did today and go out and get Joe Flacco. Like, hey, I know this is an old quarterback, but
you think he's going to help them?
Can he be worse? I don't know. I think he'll help them. I absolutely think he's going to help them.
Yeah.
And they're only 1 game back, the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Obviously, game in hand with the bye week, making that a little bit tougher. But that offense is so bad. You need a guy who I think can make the proper read. And I know he's not going to have much time. The offensive line isn't very good. But 3-step drop, find Jamar Chase. 5-step drop, find T. Higgins. I think that's the key to success for the Bengals. And I just think they need a guy who can get better decisions, process, not turn the ball over. Is it going to be helping them long term? Like if they finish with 4 wins or 6 wins? No, but I think you do have to send that message to the room that, hey, we're trying to do something here. Like we have a pretty good roster, at least on the offensive side of the football. We got to try to do something. So I do like the move personally. Yeah. It didn't cost them much.
I just look at you. Joe Burrow is infinitely more mobile than Joe Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
And he got murdered because that O-line is terrible. Joe Flacco, like how many times are you going to get sacked here in the first few weeks? 10? Like that's my concern, Con, man. Like I think they'd have been better off. Go get a quarterback who can scramble and run because I think Joe Flacco, like, he is going to take some licks.
But who is it, right? Like who is that quarterback?
I know he costs more, but if I was the Bengals, I probably would have traded for Russell Wilson over Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I mean, he's got definitely has more mobility.
Yeah.
Huge paycheck, though.
Yes, that's, and I know. So that's the, I don't know if salary cap wise it would have worked, but even Jameis Winston, right? Like, why wouldn't you go to Jameis Winston, Cons? Now, maybe they don't want to.
He's not mobile.
Maybe they don't want to trade him. Well, Jameis Winston's more mobile than Joe Flacco.
Well, yeah. Declan's more mobile than me, you know? It's like, hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he would be like, I wanted that one, to be honest with you, because Jameis is fun to watch and he'll make great plays. He'll make probably bad plays, but I would imagine the cost would have been a little bit higher. It is interesting to see it happen in the division, 2 divisional teams making a deal like this, but just to go further in on it, like the Baltimore Ravens, 1-4 on the season, Lamar Jackson's not going to play for a while. Like this division, you know, the Steelers are probably going to have a good stranglehold on it, but I think it's a good message to send that you're at least going to compete for it.
Yeah, well, I guess that's fair because you're right. It is wide open, but man, the Steelers might be able to just walk away with this division
I think so.
At the rate it's going. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got a lot of texts flying in. Hey, guys, would you consider Wallman day-to-day, or is it more than that? They haven't said much about his injury. From Mark, well, he had a setback. I talked to Jake today, and I'll say this, in my time getting to know Jake, obviously I knew him a little bit before he came here. He's pretty honest. He said it's nothing big. He thinks he's really close. He thinks Saturday is an option. So if it's not Saturday, it's going to be on the road trip by the sounds of it. So few games, but doesn't sound like it's anything. He said it's a minor thing, and it's a long season. And while he really wants to be out there, he's abiding by what the doctor is saying. So as for what the injury is, you know what? You're not going to get a clear-cut answer. I can't say for certain what it is, so I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. Hey, Greg's, I'm a Colts fan. I never would have guessed we'd have looked this good. I love it from Husks. See, there you go. Even Colts fans. I like the honesty. No Colts fan thought you'd be 4-1 to start the year. And they played, Daniel Jones has looked really good for the Colts. Really good. Hey, Greg's, are you concerned about the Oilers' second line? Seems pretty small to me. Well, in the regular season, no issue with it, Jack. In the playoffs, I don't think there's any chance you could play Savoy, Mangiapane, and Nugent Hopkins as a line in the playoffs. I would agree with you there. Totally different game. But in the playoffs, in the regular season, with no Hyman in the lineup, I think they can get away with it. But like when Hyman comes back in, things are gonna move around the lineup. You're gonna have to send down a forward, number one. You're gonna have to send down a defenseman to make the cap space work. So there's that. I think I realistically look at it like, and then there's also Matthias Janmark. When he's ready to come back, someone would have to go down for him potentially. So maybe himself. We'll see. But that'd be an interesting one. Are you ready to waive Janmark? I think a guy who's a veteran like that, some team would claim him. I wouldn't be shocked. Skates really well, kills penalties. Yeah, it doesn't bring you a ton of offense. I think everybody knows that, but he's ultra reliable, and you know exactly what you get at him come playoff time. And I do think there's some value in that. So we'll see about Janmark. He's out at least a week, so he's not going to be here for the first few games. And Wallman, there's a chance, but he didn't skate today. There's a chance, if I see Wallman on the ice for the morning skate, which is a lot less intense, then there's at least a step in the right direction. He's not on the morning skate on Wednesday, then you're like, I don't know if he'd be ready by Saturday. That's kind of where I'd come out on that. So we'll come back. We're going to hear from Connor McDavid, an entirety of that interview and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Verified clean and non-GMO. Look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
You'll see us digging holes. No, we're not looking for buried treasure. You'll see us digging trenches as well. And no, we're not building a fort. We're GS Construction, and you'll see us in neighborhoods throughout the Edmonton area. So what are we doing? GS Construction provides rehabilitation and upgrade services to Edmonton and surrounding communities. Some of our underground utilities have served us for years and are past their useful lives. We replace them, so they're around for years to come. Find out more at gsconstruction.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand and go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah!
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on the number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
You can just put up a Twitter. 2:20, welcome back. Tuesday afternoon. NHL fans excited, I'm sure, as the NHL kicks off. It's technically the 109th year of the NHL, but it's the 108th season. As you all know, you were part of many of you anyway, remember the 04-05 season that did not happen. So there you go. We're going to get to Connor McDavid in a second. I had a chance to talk to the captain about his new contract, the upcoming season, where he feels the Oilers are at. And you know what? The Oilers core now is signed. You got Wallman, you've got Bouchard, you've got Nurse. I think Ekholm's going to get another short-term deal here coming soon. You got Draisaitl, you got McDavid, you got Hyman, you got Nugent Hopkins, you got Trent Frederick. Like they got their main guys. And then, Podkolzin for 3 years. So they've got, I think, a lot of their core. Well, actually 10 forwards for next season already. So we'll see where it goes with the Oilers. I think there could be some changes as the season goes along. No question about that. That's why I got the salary cap, and the Oilers will have some salary cap space to work with if need be. So away they go. Now let's get to the Oil Report, brought to you by Go Auto, home of the lowest winter tire price guaranteed. Visit goauto.ca to book today. We got about another 7 weeks to plan ahead. We know eventually it's coming, so you want to plan ahead. Do it at goauto.ca. And Connor McDavid in the dressing room today just opened up discussing the contract and how it came to be.
Yeah, obviously said I was committed to winning here, and that's. I meant that when I said that, and 2 years makes a lot of sense. Gives us a chance to continue chasing down what we've been chasing down here with the core guys that have been here, and a little bit of money to work with too. So I think the deal makes sense for both sides.
Why that number as opposed to maybe another number?
I guess it's a unique situation. Just, we weren't going to sign a long-term deal. So, 2 years at that number makes a lot of sense. Gives us a chance, as I said, to extend our window here in Edmonton. Lenny's not going to go hungry with that money. So, we'll be fine. So, it's about winning, and that's always what I've preached. And so I think this deal gives both sides what they're looking for.
What made yesterday the day where you felt like, okay, like we asked you a lot of questions over the last several weeks. Did you want to get it done before the season, or what made yesterday the green light day?
I think obviously not wanting to be a distraction plays a factor. It's it's a lot for guys to have to come in here and answer questions for other guys. The coach to get asked about it, the GM to get asked about it every day. So nice to get it out of the way. No one's got to talk about it anymore. That obviously plays a factor, and then obviously just myself not wanting to answer the question and giving the Oilers some clarity on what's going to go down. So I know again it's not easy. So but it was something that I took seriously and wanted to give a lot of thought over, and something that we discussed ad nauseum and talked it over again and over again, and that was the conclusion we came to.
Was the decision about how long, or was playing out your final year and exploring free agency on the table?
I said everything was on the table, and I meant it then too. Of course, everything was on the table. Like that's the point of being in that situation. You have your options, but ultimately, our heart's here in Edmonton. Our heart's here with the core guys, with the guys in this room, as I alluded to. Obviously, the city and the fans are important to us, and we want to win here. We want to bring that, bring it back here and make our city proud, and our but mostly for the guys in this room. We've been through a lot together, and to see it through together is important.
Nobody would argue that there's thought out there that this is a window they have to start to contend. You've clearly been contending pretty good for the last 5 years here. Does this contract frame the next 3 years, however, a little different? Is there a different sort of aura about the next 3 years here now?
Clearly, there's a little bit of, as I said, we took our time with it. I think there's a lot of factors that go into that. I think everyone understands the situation this room and this organization is in. We want to win. Top to the bottom. If it lends urgency, that's a good byproduct, I guess.
Can you expand on, like you mentioned, 2 years? Why that ultimately became the sweet spot for you? Like what about 2 made it so appealing?
What about 2?
Yeah.
Again, it gives the core guys that have been here a really long time, and guys in this room that have come here to be a part of something special. Gives us a chance to play that out, and that's important to me, obviously. There's no secret that with a team that pushes for it every year, like we have for the last number of years, 4 or 5 years, we've given up first-round picks and prospects and all that stuff. That not a lot of ton of young guys, So I think 2 years gives us a chance to, as I said, play this out. Gives us every opportunity to build something here. I think no one really knows what the cap situation. Everyone keeps telling everyone that it's going to be. Who knows what it's going to be at? But ultimately, if teams don't want to spend the money, then cap stops going up. So no one really knows what's going to happen. I think everyone understands and expects where it's going to go. So as I said, our heart's here. We want to win here. That's the bottom line. And I think that deal expressed.
Specific that you were looking for from the Oilers?
We had lots of talks, as Stan pointed out. We talked about a number of different things, and we kept an open communication, and I think that's important. Was there any commitments that I was looking for? No. But just having those open conversations together was important.
Connor, you mentioned you don't maybe have a lot of, but you actually have quite a few young guys coming in this year. Howard, Savoy, Regula. Pod Colson's only 24. You guys have obviously been as close as you can to winning. How important is it to add some youth, and how do you get them to understand what it takes to win?
Extremely important. You need your older guys, you need your core guys, you need everybody, you need some young talent, and Stan and Jeff have done a great job of going out and adding that in, under difficult circumstances. So Sav and Howie, and as you said, Podsy, and Regs is going to start with us. So there are a lot of promising things going on, and I think that that's exciting and it's important for our group, and they're going to be a big part of this, just as everyone in this room will be. So that's been good.
Connor, looking ahead to the season, what's going to make the third time the charm, in your opinion?
You want me to give you the experience talk or the motivated? I don't know. I mean, what do I think? I think we got a good team. We got a chance, but it starts with obviously tomorrow night, and starts with a good regular season, and an even shorter picture, having a good start to the season. So obviously that's what we want to do. Something that has not been our MO the last couple of years. So getting off to a good start is important.
Yeah, but he's been talking about a good start and why that is important early on. Now, how important? It's a great debate, because the last 2 years the Oilers haven't started very well, but they finished second place. If they had started well, would they have finished first place? We'll never know. I don't know. I don't know if the month of October somehow the results would. I guess it would have meant maybe they would have had home ice advantage for more than one round in each of those 2 seasons. So that, I think, is something that we can all agree is a factor. Now, how big of a factor, that no one knows, right? Like we can all debate and say, hey, does it help having Florida just won the cup and they didn't have home ice advantage? So if you have a really good team, I think it matters less. Sometimes it can be the difference for you to win, and that's fair. But it's not the do-all, end-all. I don't think they're going to, tire themselves out trying to ensure they get it. But I think a good start is just mentally. The benefit of a good start is that mentally, I don't think you're as fatigued, because you're not like, oh my God, geez, look at this. We're 2-7-1. Now we really got to turn it up. And even if you're 5-5 or you're 5-4-1, you might be 4-5 points behind a team, rather than like they were 15 points, 18 points behind Vegas at times last year. That's a massive hole to try to crawl yourself out of. So I can understand maybe more mentally than results long term. And who knows if that mental benefit will lead to less fatigue later on in the season. We'll see how it goes. Now, Leon Draisaitl, of course, signed an extension for himself last year for 8 seasons. And Leon Draisaitl, pretty big, important piece for the Edmonton Oilers. Some would say, the last 2 regular seasons, I would argue Draisaitl's been more important than McDavid. If you just look at his results, right? He's a big time player. If McDavid's you want to say he's the most important piece, sure. But Draisaitl is not far below. It is extremely close when you look at his defensive play, his face-offs, his goal scoring, and just how different that is and how important that is. But Draisaitl today just shared his thoughts on having his running mate signed for the next few seasons.
Obviously very excited. Every negotiation is its own project, is its own time. And but for us as an organization, obviously he's the heart and soul of our group and of our team. So, getting the chance to, chase it down for 3 more years at least, is obviously amazing.
3 years is really a long time. Like, so much changes, in that 3 years. Some people talk about clock ticking stuff. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, do you feel that 3 years is a real long time for your team to accomplish what you want?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, you only need 1 year. If you play it well, you're giving yourself a chance. So obviously, we got 3 years to do what we're chasing and to do, get to the ultimate goal. And obviously, everyone in here, I think everyone in the city is extremely excited for the next 3 years, and take it from there.
Excited just about the fact that you have basically your main core locked in for those 3 years, and it's just going to be about adding the right guys at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think most guys are here. The core is set, and now it's just about finding the right pieces that complement the core group and become a team that contends for 3 years and has a chance to win every year.
Yeah, I mean, mentally and emotionally, what does it do for a room like this when your leader, shows that kind of commitment?
Wow, I mean, it obviously shows that he wants to win. It's very obvious. But within our group, we got to do our work regardless of, individuals or it would have been the same in my situation. There's no difference. So, like I said, he's our captain, he's our leader, and he's our go-to guy. So, he's irreplaceable. So, obviously, great feeling for all of us. To like I said, have him for three more years.
Year's different, and it's obviously a very long road. What happens in October at times doesn't really impact what's going to happen later on. How do you approach this year? And, is it different? Is there something that you're looking for as your group or individually that's different from the previous two?
Again, like you said, every year writes its own story, its own path a little bit. And, obviously I think everyone's very excited for tomorrow just to get rolling and get the juices flowing a little bit and, start it all over again. Lots of new faces in here, lots of energy in here right now. So, very excited for the year.
You sense the excitement higher. You got a lot of guys in here that are going to play their first NHL game tomorrow. Does that resonate with everybody? Just a little bit more excitement, that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, that's always very exciting. That's always great when you have kids or younger guys coming in and they're playing the first couple of games. That's just an amazing feeling because we've all been there in this room at some point. So you know what that feeling is like, and I think it gets guys excited.
As it should be. So you got Ike Howard's going to play his first NHL game tomorrow night. David Tomasic. Now, he's a 10-year veteran. I had a good chat with David today. He's like, yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. Like, I've 10 years playing pro hockey. Now I'm a rookie, although doesn't qualify as a rookie by NHL rules. But, it's a new league. It's a new opportunity. He says, my first goal was just to make the team. Now he's made the team, and now I got to keep climbing up and play better. And he's going to start on the right wing with Henrique and Howard. So two guys there that they'll be in their first NHL game. Meanwhile, their center iceman, if they ever need any advice, they could probably just lean over because Adam Henrique he is only 7 games shy. This month he's going to play game 1,000, which is a pretty big deal for him. So he got 2 line mates playing in game 1, and he is closing in on game 1,000. Then you've got Regula on the back end for the Edmonton Oilers because Jake Wallman is not ready. Now Regula has played 22 NHL games, but he hasn't played in the NHL since 2023 when he played 4 games. So you know what? He's new. Matt Savoy doesn't have much NHL experience. What did he play? 4 games, I think, last season. And then he did play 1 in Buffalo. So I think he's played 5. You have Noah Philp, who has played in the NHL, albeit he played 10, no, maybe 14 or 15 games. I have to look up the exact number of what he played. So there's 5 guys who are, pretty young, pretty excited. And there's something that's good about that in the room. Right? You see that excitement. You remember it as a player. Heck, fans like to watch. They'll be watching guys in the warm-up a little bit closer. You might go to the ring. You know what? You got Matt Savoy. He's going to have his family, I'm sure, he cracked the opening day lineup. That's a pretty big deal for him. His parents are right from St. Albert, so I'm sure they'll be there. And lots of his buddies who he grew up with probably getting tickets for that. Noah Philp, of course, from Alberta himself. Now, Tomasic's parents aren't coming in for this because, wasn't sure he was going to make the team. He didn't want to take anything for granted, so they didn't plan ahead. But, he's hoping that, they'll be able to come over soon. Ike Howard, I think, I'm guessing his parents, obviously, it's a little bit closer to come, so they would probably be in the crowd tomorrow night. So that'll be a lot of fun. And away we go. Oilers and the Flames. Oilers looking for a better start. The last 2 seasons hasn't been good. 8-1 in Vancouver, 6-0 loss to Winnipeg last year on home ice. So they will look to get off to a better start. And hey, speaking of a better start for next season, and this season is far from over, but it's been a good week for sports fans in Edmonton because you had Wallman and McDavid signing yesterday, and today they announced that Justin Rankin has signed a contract extension. I think he's their most dynamic player. I think he's their best player. So he's got 2 more years in the green and gold, and he will join us next on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better at On the Rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
Mr. Rooter meets a ghost.
1 plunge, 2, and 3. A toilet clogged with a ghost? Man, I love plumbing. You're free now.
I will never find peace. The clog is fixed, yes, but I have never trusted the sump pump.
No problemo. I can fix that. Now go to the light, you little scamp.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. To resolve your unfinished plumbing business, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
It's Midnight Madness at the Brick. Stores close Friday to lower prices, then reopen at 5 p.m. with incredible 7-hour deals. The first 10 customers get $50 to spend on anything in store. Score free local delivery when you spend $4.99 or more. Plus, buy any TV or appliance, get a $50 credit to spend on furniture, decor, or mattresses. And take 5 years to pay with 0 interest on your Flexity card OAC. Terms and conditions apply. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets, food and drink specials, after party at O'Byrne's Ice District, and you could win a trip to Cancun. Tickets at GoElks.com.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
At Wendy's, $4 gets you more than just a burger. It gets you a Dave's Single, made with a 1/4 pound of fresh, never frozen Canadian beef, all for just $4 at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra. But hurry, this deal ends October 26th.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and you can play score and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$2:45. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight's the Lotto Max $15 million lottery. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck. Well, it's been a good week for sports fans if they like extending teams' best players to 2-year deals. Yesterday was Connor McDavid, and today it was Justin Rankin. As we get to our CFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. Plan ahead, stay warm, don't let it conk out. LegacyHeating.ca. And the most dynamic player in the CFL this season, Justin Rankin, joins us now on the show. Justin, congratulations on your new 2-year extension. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Well, I guess, I don't know. Now, Justin, have you ever played hockey? Do you know how to skate?
I know how to skate, but I ain't never played hockey in my life. I can't do that skating backwards stuff. That's too hard.
Okay. So you have skated though, so that's all right. Because I was going to ask you, like, if you were playing hockey, you know, I would think you'd be pretty good at the contact stuff. You seem to bounce off guys pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so, but they be fighting and stuff. I can't do that in the middle of the game and go back to play. I don't know how they do that.
You get all upset and then you calm right back down. So, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, well, it's funny because you talk to hockey players, they're like, I don't know how those guys get hit every second play and just get back up. So, it's every sport has some uniqueness to it. Well, Justin,
for sure.
Obviously a big day for you. Just can you discuss this season for you and just your ability to be the big play guy when you get the ball in your hands?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good season, you know, like, again, this is the ultimate team sport. Like, so it looks awesome to, you know, have one guy break away and, you know, make a big play. But, you know, when you look at the film, when you're looking at the small details of guys blocking down the field and, you know, guys just lining up in the right spot, you know, that makes huge difference. So, it's huge shout out to the team, you know, being able to, you know, overcome all the adversity that we went through this year and still have the resilience to, you know, show up every game and put good stuff on film.
You've been just as deadly out of the backfield catching the balls as you have been running. Do you feel equally comfortable, or do you still consider yourself, hey, I'd rather get handed the rock than catch the rock?
Yeah, I mean, like, whatever to help the team, right? Like, you know, I think I'm good at both. I practice both a lot. You know, I get catches in every day. So it's not like a foreign language to me, you know. Again, like, you know, everybody heard it, but, you know, they had me at receiver when I first got here. So, you know, I like doing both. You know, there's an art form to running routes and there's a nitty grittiness to playing running back, right? But ultimately, whatever, you know, the team, the coaches need me to do, you know, I'm willing to do it.
It is interesting that you were playing receiver first, because you've been more of a running back. Like when you were at and I think it's El Raya Catholic High School. Were you more of a running back?
Elyria.
Okay. When you were at Elyria Catholic High School, were you more of a running back, or did you play all positions there?
No, I played running back, but you know, I was out, you know, playing receiver every now and then. College, you know, my sophomore year, I played a lot of receiver.
Okay.
My sophomore year, things like that. Like I kind of bounced around, but I've been mainly a running back that just, you know, was able to run routes and catch the ball.
What is the key for you to be a good route runner out of the backfield?
I mean, I think just practicing it, right? Like everything else, you know, the biggest thing is just practice running the routes. You know, it doesn't need to be like, you know, a perfect route. You don't have to be like an amazing route runner, but just understand, you know, the coverage that you're going against and, you know, the depth you're getting to and getting in and out of your breaks. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. And then obviously just catching the ball, right?
How do you feel you were able to master like that sidestep of yours, Justin? You come up on a guy and we've seen you have defenders just completely miss. How did you excel to get so good at that move?
Yeah, you like that, huh?
No.
Nah, yeah, I just practicing it, right? Like in the off season, I watch a lot of I go back and watch a lot of my game film and just kind of break down, things that I can get better at, things that people would attack if I was a defender, like how would I beat me, right? And just kind of trying to do drills that are very game like, not drills that I may never do in a game. So
okay.
I think that's just the biggest thing is like whatever I excel at, I try to master it, and kind of try to cover up your weaknesses, right? Just master what you're really good at.
So when you're like, do you load up like the one leg? Like, how do you work on something like that? Because you seem to load up the one leg and then suddenly you burst the other way, right? And a lot of guys fall for it. So is it just a repetition? Are there certain for young kids out there that are like, hey man, I want to learn that move? How do you master it? What do you do?
Yeah, it definitely comes with a lot of repetition, but I've also done a lot of banded work. Putting the band on one leg and just exploding off of the band, in each direction. Things like that. I used to work with a trainer where we did a lot of resistant work. I got my other trainer at home, James. He helps me out a lot with just doing a lot of repetition of those different types of cuts and off balance cuts and explosive. Just making sure that we're staying explosive throughout the off season. So when the season comes around, it's second nature.
Justin Rankin joins us as signs a 2-year extension with the green and gold. And Justin, this I've been calling it playoff week for the green and gold. You win, you stay in the playoff race, and you lose, you don't. And so it's easy to kind of approach it that way. I'm guessing there's a lot of excitement around the team to say, hey guys, we're still in this and we kind of control our destiny.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of guys in the team were, we've been in playoff mode for a while, right? Like we've been thinking it's been a must win for a while just because, unfortunately we were behind in the beginning of the season. So, for a while here, we've been treating every game like a must-win. Like, it's 1-0. We got to win this game, right? And, now it's 100%. Like you said, it's 100% playoff mode. And, I think that has guys on the edge of the seat, like, ready to go and, kind of ready to give everything they got, kind of go all in.
Obviously, you needed a win last weekend, but the ability to hold on to the win, because you played 2 really good games on the road. And for the vast majority of those games, you were the better team and probably should have won, and then unable to hold on to it in the final drive. How important do you think it was for your team's psyche to just say, okay, we held on to the against a very good Saskatchewan team. We can do that against anybody.
Yeah, I think it was huge, right? Like it all came down to just banking the experiences from those past 2 games. And I think that's something that we talked about in meetings, and that's something that, when we came out to the Saskatchewan game that, we took advantage of, like, right? Like we messed up in the 2 previous games and we went over in film, we went over situations in practice and, we came out and we did it. We did it, ran it exactly how we talked about. And I think that's huge. It shows a lot of maturity in the team to, be able to lose 2 games like that and come back and, with the almost same situation and hold out, right? Come out with the W. So, it's a huge moral victory for the guys and being able to continue to stack the energy and bring the energy up, after a huge win like that.
Justin, can you take me through Justin Rankin's week now? You've had it, practice yesterday, practice day. You're getting ready for the game on Saturday. What are you watching specifically when you're in the film room?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just what they like to do, right? Like we've already played them once. We kind of know how they played against us, and we got a lot of film on them throughout the year, right? Like we're just watching the tendencies, different packages they like to run in different situations, and it's not rocket science, right? Like at the end of the day, the team that makes the more mistakes is gonna lose, and that's the biggest thing is making sure that we can take advantage of the things that they're giving us. We're not going to do anything extraordinary, like whatever they're giving us, we want to take advantage of it, right? And that's kind of the biggest thing is just finding the tendencies, finding the loopholes in the defense and taking advantage of it.
Any specific, I don't know if you're a number guy or not. Is there any reason why you went with number 5?
No, not at all. I just didn't want to be at 31 anymore.
Okay. You didn't, okay. Well,
I didn't like that number. They thought I was, 31 gave me the nickname Rank the Tank. Like I was a bruiser back.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't like Rank the Tank. Well, you were, because you did run over a few guys, but obviously we've seen you run around more guys this season. So you went with number 5 to eliminate the nickname.
No, it's the nickname. The nickname's grown on me. I like the nickname now. Like a couple of the guys always laugh at me because at first I wasn't with the nickname because I did run a lot of people over, but I'm like, man, I can do a lot more than just run people over. Like I wasn't just a bruiser back and I was in 31. It made me feel like I was a fullback kind of.
Okay, so 5 is more of a running back. And I totally understand it. Like, I know in hockey, if you consider yourself like a scoring forward, rarely are you wearing a single digit. It's not really a scorer's number.
Yeah.
Now, there's the odd exception to it. So number 5 is more of a scat back than a fullback, is what you're telling me. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting used to this organization, Justin, there's been a lot of changes. Of course, Larry took over. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his family's going to keep the ownership going. They brought in Chris Morris. They brought in Ed Hervey. Now a whole new coaching staff from last year. What have you noticed as the biggest difference you've seen in the organization this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I think just the standard and the mentality has never wavered, right? Like from day one in the off season, what they were preaching, what Ed was preaching in the media, what Chris was preaching in the media, what Coach Killen was preaching, it all stayed the same throughout the year, and they never waver on that, right? And they're holding guys accountable to that, and the guys are trying to hold each other accountable to that. I think that's the biggest thing when you're trying to set a culture is you set a standard at the beginning of the year and you don't waver from that. You stand on that, regardless of what it is, right? If that's what you want the standard to be, then you make that the standard, and you keep that the standard throughout the entire year.
Justin Rankin joins us, of course, lead running back for the Green and Gold, signs a 2-year contract extension through the end of the 2027 season. Justin, what's your plans? Like, do you go home in the offseason? I know Chris Morris, they want guys to stay around here a little bit more during the year. Kind of what's your plans in the offseason? Do you plan to be in Edmonton a little bit more?
I might come back like early, but, I'm going to go home, see my family, see my kids, kind of just go enjoy, being around family and my friends, my old friends from the Ohio and things like that. But, I love my city. So, I definitely want to go back there, get back involved with, my high school and some of the young kids and give back to the community.
Now do you have 3 young kids, Justin?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And so I know I think they were here earlier in the year, but obviously they're not here full time. Maybe just touch on that. Like, that's gotta be the hardest part, right? Like, you love football, but obviously you love your kids and not giving them around. Like, how do you deal with that as a professional athlete during the season when your kids aren't there?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Like, everybody's making sacrifices to come here, whether they have kids or not. But having kids, having a family, it definitely is tough. But I think one of the biggest things for me is my son gets to see me live out a dream, and when I explain to him that he's got to make sacrifices to, live his dream and chase his dream, I'm not just, talking out of, my butt. Like, I'm showing him, I'm proving to him. He gets to see it every day. Like, yeah, my dad is doing what he's preaching, and I think that's a lot easier for kids to kind of grasp. Is like when they're seeing the action behind what you're saying, they can believe it a little more. And, that kind of motivates me to go is, when it's time for him to chase his dream, I don't want him to give up on it because, it gets hard or the sacrifices that need to be made.
You're going to teach him that stutter step move?
Yeah, if he can do it, right now, his footwork a little shaky right now. I'm trying to work on it.
Oh, geez. That's spoken like a true dad. Like, your oldest son, what is he, 7 or 8? How old is he?
He's 8. He's 8. He's a soccer guy, though.
Okay.
He's not big into football right now.
Okay, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Now, because it varies. Some athletes are like, man, I just want my kids to be happy, of course. And then some, I'd love him to play my sport. But then others are like, God, no, I don't want him to play my sport. Where do you come in?
It doesn't, whatever he wants to do, and I've been huge on that. Like, I never forced him to do nothing. I never told him he had to play anything, whatever he was interested in, I bought into that. And, whatever he wanted to do, I made sure that he did it, whether it was, playing the game or, robotics or chess or whatever it is what he was interested in. Like, I made sure that, he had access to be able to, bring out that full potential and, play what he wants to play, do what he wants to do. I could care less if he play any sports at all, right? If he does, it's a bonus, I get to be around sports longer, but if not, like you said, as long as he's happy, I'm happy.
Justin, give us a little insight into your personality. Are you a jokester in the room, or do you kind of sit back and watch the shenanigans? Where do you come out as are involved in that the fun stuff inside the room?
I think I would consider myself a jokester a little bit.
Okay.
I think I might be the funniest person on the team, if you ask me. But
okay.
Yeah, some other people I don't know, but I'm definitely the funniest in the team.
Funniest? Who's the best looking?
The best looking?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. You know, if you ask some people in our organization, they would say Cody Fajardo, but you know, I don't know. You might have to take an Instagram poll on that.
Oh, gee, yeah, but you're not putting a vote behind Fajardo, is what I'm hearing, right? You're not putting your vote there.
No, I'm not putting my vote behind Cody, but you know, some people would fight me to death on that one.
Okay, I like. Well,
I might have to give it to Arkell Smith.
Arkell Smith. Okay, yeah. Well, he's attractive, man. I can see that. Okay, I like it. I'm sure he would agree with you, right? Who wouldn't if someone told you? So he'd probably be pretty happy. We'll tell him that next time. We'll see what his answer is. Justin, congratulations.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah. Congratulations on your new contract, and best of luck this Saturday against the Bombers.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Justin Rankin, funniest guy on the team. I like it, self-proclaimed. I think I'm the funniest guy on the team. Why not? You got to have some fun. And Rankin, I'll say this: he has been easily the most dynamic player on the Elks this season. It's not close. Like some of his runs, his little juke, stutter step, whatever move you want to call it, it's really impressive. And he has come up huge, and he's going to have a big game again, both running the ball, catching balls out of the backfield. I think deceptively, he's a pretty good blocker. Doesn't get a lot of fanfare about it, but watch him. He doesn't get beat very often on his blocks. So he has been all around. I think, you know what, when the voting comes out, I think it's an obvious one. He'll be the MOP representing the Green and Gold organization this year. And it's a good sign for them to get him locked up for another 2 seasons. You want to keep your best guys around. You know, Chris Morrison, Ed Hervey, they talked about, they want to create a culture of not a lot of turnover, right? You want to build things up. Obviously, you got to replace some guys at some point, no question, but you want to keep your core around. I think it's better for the fans. You know, people are like, hey, you know what? I might go get a number 5 jersey now. A little hesitant. You don't want guys one and done. It's not ideal. So I think from a CFL marketing standpoint, getting your best guys to stay longer for a team is better for the whole league, better for everybody involved. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They are hiring. If you're looking for a fantastic job, you get a hiring bonus. You also get RRSP matching, tuition reimbursement. Find out today if they're for you. Go to legacyheating.ca and apply today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
We're mere minutes away from the start of the 2025-26 NHL season down in Sunrise. The Panthers set to host the Blackhawks later on tonight. You got the Rangers and the Penguins, and then it caps off at 8:30 with the Avalanche in Los Angeles taking on the Kings of Major League Baseball. We got a delay right now. Tigers and Mariners out in Detroit in top of the first. Game hasn't started. That series batted a game apiece. At 6:08, the Yankees hosting the Jays, looking to stay alive as Toronto up 2-0 in that one. From the NFL, some trades today. Chargers acquiring linebacker Odave Owe and a 7th-round pick from the Baltimore Ravens for safety Alohi Gilman and a 5th-round pick. Earlier on this morning, it was the Bengals acquiring veteran quarterback Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick from division rivals Cleveland for a 5th-round selection. The move comes after the Browns moved on to Dylan Gabriel as their starting quarterback, and Jake Browning struggled under center without Joe Burrow in the lineup, and Odell Beckham Jr. has accepted a 6-game suspension for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. He is a free agent, but he failed the test last season with the Dolphins. And NBA preseason, Bulls Cavs at 5. At 6, you got the Pacers taking on the Timberwolves. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM NHL, and hear another edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Whoa, who turned off all the lights?
I appreciate you.
The new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right? Available now, only at Booster Juice.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service,
Gregor Show
rental,
on
and
Sports
finance, when you're in it for the
1440,
long haul,
Sports
Edmonton
14.
Trailer.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Stradling. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an
welcome back,
meet and
Jason
greet
Gregor.
with legends like
Connor
Bill
Halley.
Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock, we roll through a lovely Tuesday afternoon on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And hey, thanks everybody who listens to the show all the time, online radio. Now some of you are watching it, checking out the shorts, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. Really appreciate it. It gives us, every time you reach a new platform, it just gives us more opportunity to do more things and give you more content, which is fantastic. We'll have lots of new stuff, some different interviews that you won't see anywhere else, really. So that'll be great coming up over at our YouTube page or Sports 1440. I think technically it's AM Sports 1440, but you just hit the YouTube button. You can find it pretty easily. You can always get involved in the chat room there as well during the show. You can always text us 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our Well inbox. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We got a few. Hey guys, why is that game in Florida starting so early? Well, because there's a few things. I got the Stanley Cup banner, so it's going to be a little bit longer for pregame, but ESPN wants a triple header to start the season. So that's 5 o'clock Eastern. And think about it. If the Oilers had a Stanley Cup raising banner night and they said, you know what, we're going to start the ceremony at 5 o'clock. Do you think for one day of the year, do you think the season ticket holders would be like, yeah, I'll get there. I'll figure it out. You would. So that's why they do it. It's a national broadcast game. So it'll be Chicago, Florida. Then at 6 o'clock Eastern, 8 Eastern, 6 o'clock our time, Pittsburgh takes on the New York Rangers. And the late one tonight at 8:30 Edmonton time will be the Colorado Avalanche in LA to take on the Kings. Mackenzie Blackwood not ready to go. So Wedgwood will start for Colorado. Those teams had 49 and 48 wins respectively last season. And I'm kind of curious on the Kings and what people think of them this year. Them and Edmonton, someone say, oh God, I don't want them to play again. It's funny. Like people say they get tired of Edmonton and LA. You know why you're tired of it outside of Edmonton? Because Edmonton always wins. No one says they're tired of Florida, Tampa Bay. Why? Because they both won. That's the difference. Right? People whining, I want the 1-versus-8 format because I don't want Edmonton and LA. If LA won half the time, people would love it because it would be more exciting. Oiler fans have no issues with LA because they beat them all the time. I don't hear anybody saying, Florida and Tampa played 5 times in 6 years. Oh, that sucks. Really? Haven't heard anybody complain. because the sane people get it, right? You get it. A rivalry is great when both teams are competitive. It just makes it better. Now, Edmonton, it's funny. They dominated the Calgary Flames for a long time, excluding one season. Then the Dallas Stars dominated the Oilers, except for one season. And now the Oilers are dominating the LA Kings every year. Not except one season, because the Kings haven't been able to beat them in the playoffs since, 1989, Gretzky's first year. I think that might be the only. Oh, no, sorry, 82, of course. They came back and won. So they have won before, but it's been a long, long time since they were able to beat them. So, hey guys, 1-8 matchups are more random. Simple. Robbie, did you not listen to what we just said? Oilers and Dallas played 5 years. They played 6 out of 7 years, including 5 years in a row. It was 1 versus 8. Sorry, the math doesn't jive. Right? And just because it's more random doesn't mean it's better. Doesn't mean you get better at all. Oh, great. Edmonton's going to play St. Louis. Oh, that's way more exciting than Edmonton playing Vancouver or Vegas or Calgary. I totally disagree. I think rivalries are great for sport. I'll tell you right now, and I've said it, many of you might not watch the whole game, but you'll be tuning in on November 15th when Florida plays Tampa Bay. Mark it down. You will be. You might be out somewhere, but you check on your phone. Hey, what's going on there? Because it's a big rivalry and there's a lot of animosity. And it would be great. The LA Edmonton, that's the thing. There was never a lot of animosity there, right? LA just doesn't, it's not really their organization. And it's like Carolina. I keep saying it. The Carolina Hurricanes, I see a lot of people pick them to win the cup. I'm like, why? Like, why? They have the exact same thing. They play hard. They're not overly physical. They're not overly big, and they don't have a superstar. They're a good regular season team, and they can win 2 rounds in the playoffs. Mark it down. They can do that. But when push comes to shove, they get shoved out of games. Tampa, Florida, because they're skilled teams. They got a little bit more skill, top end, but they play big, heavy, and they don't back down. And all you have to show is, look what happened in the preseason in Florida and Tampa, and then look what happened to Carolina. Svechnikov gets rocked by a non-tough guy, and nothing happens. All I need to know about why the Carolina Hurricanes are not going to win the Stanley Cup this year was right there. Right there, I tell you. Mark it down today. No Carolina Stanley Cup. It's not happening. They do not. They miss that one ingredient. They got a lot of skill. The way they play, man, they're relentless in the regular season. They buy in. They obviously believe in their coach. All that stuff is great, but it's an intangible piece. And the thing is, I think the NHL is slowly starting to come back and saying, you know what? Emotion's part of our game. And you can be skilled and you can play smart, but having a little bit of nastiness is not a bad thing in your lineup at all. Florida's added it, right? Like, look at the guy. They had Lomberg the first year they won. He moved on, got a good deal in Calgary. They bring in Gadjevich. They bring in Greer. Now, they still have their skill guys, but it's just a complete top to bottom. If you're going to play here, this is how you play. And everybody plays a little bit bigger because team toughness, it's not always about fighting. It's team toughness. And I think the Oilers have improved in it. Now, you don't have Evander Kane. I think Tread Frederick will bring more of it, but they're going to need some other guys, right? Last year, you saw Podkolzin. Now, no one really challenged Podkolzin after he KO'd Lazan. Right now, that was a little bit of a wild fight, but people are like, oh, geez, this guy, he packs a punch. So that creates a little space for you. They've got Matthias Janmark. Now, remember 2 years ago, Matthias Janmark was fighting, and look when he fought. Like, there was no defense. It was just chucking him. But watch Janmark. He plays, he just agitates you, right? Gets in your face. And you need more of that. Darnell Nurse will fight, right? Jake Wallman verbally loves chirping people. It adds to it, and they need it. I still think Edmonton could probably use another guy like that. And I'm telling you, Noah Philp, oh my goodness, is there a place for him in this lineup? He's big, he skates, and yeah, you'd like him to chip in offensively for sure. But kill penalties, I know he's not going to be in their starting penalty killing group right now. Maybe he can work his way in there as the season goes along, depending on how things go. But man, Noah Philp's got to bring the tenacity that he played with in the American League. When he fought some tougher guys, Mason Gerson, local kid who's really tough. Like, Mason Gerson is really tough. And Philp did exceptional there. And I'm not saying he has to fight lots, but you need to create something and just show you, hey, guys, I'm here for us, right? Look at Hyman. Look at Zach Hyman. Hyman was a one-man wrecking crew in the playoffs. Look at how many hits he had through only 15 games. He hit everything that moved. I remember it was a few years ago. Remember they had it mic'd up and there was a scrap and said, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he got in the fight. Like, he's not fighting heavyweights. You don't need those guys to fight heavyweights. But you've got a level to it. Corey Perry, the ageless wonder at 39 last year. Look at how many times he's like, "I'll do it." He didn't win all his fights, but it's not about winning. It's about showing up and showing your teammates, hey, you know what? I'm willing to step outside my comfort zone. And I would look to guys like Philp and a few other guys this year to say, hey, I might have to do that because it is necessary. And I think it's something that the winning organizations have. That's why Florida and Tampa is such a great rival. Both teams are good. Both teams are skilled. And they have a culture that says we do not let the opposition intimidate us. If you want to battle in the trenches, Florida and Tampa are like, all right, we'll go there. No problem. So that's good. Let's hear from head coach Chris Knobloch on a few things today. Of course, first of all, the head coach gave his thoughts on, of course, the Connor McDavid contract.
Tremendous leader throughout his time here, and even the time I knew him from Erie. And I know I was impressed when I joined the team. He was 15 years old and how much respect he had from his teammates. And he was only 15, but he had that leadership qualities and had a lot to say with the team. And the players just had so much respect for him, and because he's always considerate of his teammates. And I know there's a lot of noise about what Connor wants to do and does he want to leave. And, I think there's obviously a lot of, he put in a lot of thought in it, but his commitment is 100% to Edmonton Oilers and the city of Edmonton. So, I think he's put our team in a good situation to be successful and do the things that we have to do to adjust our team. That says a lot about Connor. I know a lot of guys talk about winning and that's the priority number one. Well, I think he showed that it is priority number one for him.
For the head coach, does it at all frame the next 3 years differently in his eyes?
I think it frames it a little bit differently. Every time a team gets good, all the players, their contracts inflate, and it makes it more difficult to keep that good team together. Now, a couple of things are happening. Is one, the salary cap's going up, and you don't have Connor McDavid's contract inflating like it probably would. So it gives the team a little more flexibility on keeping players that would otherwise have to leave. And it also allows the team to make some adjustments and bringing in players that maybe make our team strong.
Well, that's going to be that's the plan. Now, I find it, I don't know what clock you guys run by, but does anybody run on a 3-year clock? Like, I just find it's the most inane narrative that has come out. Oh, the Oilers are on the clock. They've been in the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. They got the second most playoff wins over the last 5 years. What do you mean they're on the clock? He's got a contract. What if they win? Does that mean, he's going to leave? No one knows. Like, what is this clock thing? I don't really get it. But Knobloch was asked, does he feel the Oilers are on the clock?
I think the Edmonton Oilers are on the clock. Anytime there's a team is good, there's a point where it expires just because the players move on or players get older or whatever it is. I think the team is in a position to succeed because one, we've got a good team, we've got a good group of players, but also we've got a situation where Connor's doing what he's doing and allowing the team a little more flexibility to address needs.
Exactly. Right? Like, do you think their plan changes drastically? Every year they want to win, especially with the roster that they have. I don't think that the start of this year will be any different than the start of next year for the Edmonton Oilers and how they approach the offseason. Now, you have McDavid signed, so they have a little bit more room. That's great. But any suggestion that suddenly they're going to panic and be like, oh my God, we got to sell the farm. I think they've made moves that they want to win. Now, not every move is going to work, right? Because it's impossible to predict the future and say, hey, this move will work better than this move will work. But you look, what if Regula becomes an everyday third pairing defenseman for the Edmonton Oilers? That waiver wire claim is going to look unreal. What about Kasperi Kapanen, who, by the way, has slimmed down and he's looked unreal? I think Kasperi Kapanen could have a pretty good season. Right? There was another guy who's, you got him off the waiver wire heap for nothing. Pod Colson for a 4th rounder. Right? Those weren't considered massive moves, but they've all worked out so far right now. Like the fact that Kapanen helped you, scored 3 goals in 12 playoff games last year, scored a huge goal in overtime. Right? That's a win. Like it's not, regardless of what happens moving forward, that was a massive win for nothing to get the player. And then we'll see, like, where does the Savoy McLeod trade might be one that works out for both. Obviously, Buffalo worked out very well for them last year. Now, Savoy's a younger player. He got a great year of development in the minor leagues. Now, let's see if he's ready to be an NHLer. Now, he's not going to match Ryan McLeod's numbers right now today. No question, but we'll see down the road. Now it's a little bit different because it's a lefty-righty, so got to play different positions. So we'll see. So you look at all those moves and you find out which ones work, which ones don't. And I think the next big move for the organization is a scoring winger. That's a big move that they need. Take a quick break. We'll come back. Dave McCarthy will join us. We'll keep getting your text, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Got a few questions for you. Who are your 4 regular season division winners in the National Hockey League? Who do you have winning the Art Ross? And how many points? Who do you have winning the Maurice Rocket Richard Trophy for most goals and how many? We'll get to that more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets, food and drink specials, after party at Auburn's Ice District, and you could win a trip to Cancun. Tickets at goelks.com.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Edmonton's home for sports is Sports 1440. After every game this season, tune in to Andrew Walker for the post-game show. Let's talk some hockey. Let's talk about the game on Sports 1440.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Lawnmower Hospital. Step into fall with Husqvarna and the Lawnmower Hospital.
Husqvarna has chainsaws for the homeowner, farmer, rancher, or professional available in battery or gas-powered models. Take care of leaves quickly with the power of Husqvarna blowers. You'll find it all at the Lawnmower Hospital, and you can see the full selection at lawnmowerhosp.com.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan. For all your residential water needs, your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles. Culligan.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, man. What a sick tune. Whoa. Love that type of music. Good one, Cons. Good one. The NHL is officially back as the puck has dropped in Florida. The Panthers and Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks have started the 2025-26 season, and we will see. The Blackhawks, how high can they climb in the standings? The Panthers, can they go back to back to back? Let's make it pretty clear. That is a hard thing to do, no doubt. So we'll see. Now, let's go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And, oh, baby, lots of things are back. The NHL is back, and you know what else is back? Monopoly is back. Peel on the pack, then peel in the app for an extra chance to win. Get ready to peel like a winner right now at McDonald's as we welcome in from Sirius XM, host of The Brunch, also Ice Caps, Dave McCarthy joins us. Davey, how you doing?
I am just so happy that finally we have real regular season, meaningful hockey to chew on. The preseason, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just that you get older and stuff you don't like seems even worse than it was when you were younger. But it felt forever this year. I thought back to something I did what feels forever ago, and then I realized that was a week into training camp. And that means training camp was even longer than that. So I'm just so happy that we've got real hockey at hand here.
Well, Davey, the great news is next year there's only 4 preseason games for each team, and it'll be much quicker, much shorter for everyone involved. It'll be a glorious time. The NHL season. So we have some fun questions for you, Davey. So I'm going to start. Give me your 4 division winners in the regular season.
Well, I've already been asked this question, so I figured I better look it up just to make sure my mind didn't alter than from 5 days ago when I last answered it. So there's the official graphic that we put out. And so my division winners are in the Pacific, Vegas, in the Central, Colorado, the Metro, New Jersey, and the Atlantic, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Any issues with those?
New Jersey is an interesting one. Explain to me what you love about the Devils.
Well, I think they've been knocking on the door for a long time to have a year where we all sit back and go, oh, these guys are really, really good. And I think over the last 2 or 3 years, a few things have worked against them. One, they have had injury troubles at times, which has worked against them. A couple of years ago, Dougie Hamilton missed like the entire season. Jack Hughes always seems to be injured for a period of time, which, you know, not necessarily his fault, but the best ability is availability. You got to find a way to be available. So injuries have been an issue. I think at times in the past, there's been just maybe a little bit too much youth, especially on the back end, and we might have gotten ahead of ourselves when it comes to the excitement about the Devils. They don't have as much youth on the back end now. They've got some mean, nasty pieces of business, some veteran players with guys like Brendan Dillon and Brett Pesce and Dougie Hamilton. Like, that's 3 really good veterans there to complement some of the younger players that they have. So if they can stay healthy, And I think that's really the only concern now. If they can stay healthy, they've got all kinds of talent on that team. And I think they've built their team better now so that they're a more well-rounded group, not just a team that's high octane and exciting and up and down the ice, but a team that can actually grind out some wins when they need to. Their goaltending is sound. I think this is the year that the Devils really put it all together and show themselves to be the team that I think a lot of people feel that they can be.
It's fair, Davey. It's funny because I love it because I actually have the Devils missing the playoffs this year. I think they get a few. They just got some injury bugs. I had to pick some playoff teams to miss the playoffs, and so I picked them. Doesn't mean I'm overly confident with it, but that's what I agree with you. I had Toronto winning the Atlantic. I just think they got a lot to prove in that team. I think they're a good team. I have Dallas winning the Central.
They were my second pick in the Central.
And then I actually have Edmonton ending their longest drought in NHL history of not winning a division since 1987. So I think McDavid, a lot of times when he says something and he is focused on good start, we need to be better. They've talked about home ice advantage. I think they would like to win the division. I don't think they're going to blow their brains out to do it, but I think they will. And, Vegas, I think that Alex Pietrangelo is going to be a big loss. Marner will help them offensively, no question. But I think the Pietrangelo injury is going to, it's official now that he is out for the year. They put him on season-ending LTR. So anybody out there who thought, Vegas is going to make up something, no, he's done. He is not eligible. The new rule now, you can put a guy on LTIR or you can put him on season-ending LTIR because the difference is now Vegas can use all of his money on cap, whereas if he didn't, you'd only get to use like a 38% of it. Right?
You know what's really sad is that even though you articulated that beautifully and that language matters, we are still going to have to spend the entire season, you and I, battling with Muppets who are unclear on this concept. That is going to, you ask me what's going to bother me most this year, that might be it. Because people don't actually check in on the facts. They just choose what they want the facts to be and then think they're funny. And that's not the case.
Yeah, it is. It's true. It's not a deal. It's unfortunate for Pietrangelo. I'm not sure he's ever going to play hockey again. Yeah. What about the Art Ross, Davey? Who do you have winning and how many points?
Well, I don't think Connor McDavid is all too interested in that anymore. I think he absolutely can win it. He might win it, but I don't think he is going to be moving heaven and earth to ensure that he does. I think that Nikita Kucherov is going to win it again, just because so much of what Tampa Bay does offensively runs through Nikita Kucherov. And this is not to compare Kucherov to McDavid, but when McDavid is at his best, he does seem like he's going a million miles an hour. And that's not to say that he has to in order to be that good, but that's just how his game is tailored. It's tailored on breathtaking speed, flying up and down the ice, getting into free areas on the ice and really using his speed to his advantage. And that can take, some level of work and effort and energy that he may not be willing to expend and may not have to expend in order for the Oilers to get to where they want to be. Kucherov's game doesn't really seem to be predicated on that same type of breathtaking speed. He seems to be able to slow the game down to the pace that he wants to play it at. And in a way, it might be a little bit easier for him to generate the kind of offense that he needs to in order for Tampa to have success. So if he's not scoring, Tampa Bay's in deep trouble. So I do expect him to be very good. But I just find his game to be more conducive to a lesser degree of effort and energy in order to be at his best. And so I think the points come, don't radio me here, people, but the points come more naturally to Kucherov at less effort than they do McDavid. Do you see where I'm going with that? Does that make sense to you at all? That's why I think Kucherov's going to win it, because I don't see really anybody else that's going to challenge him. I don't think Draisaitl cares to win that. McKinnon maybe, but whatever. I don't know. I'm going to go with Kucherov. And I'm going to go with 134 points.
Okay. What about the Rocket, Richard Trophy?
Austin Matthews going to bounce back, and he's going to win the Rocket this year because I think, I was around him today, talked to him a little bit. I do think there is an element of feeling as though people doubt him for a couple of reasons. One, that his running mate is gone in Mitch Marner, who was a big part of facilitating him. And two, the fact that he had a down year last year. So many guys would kill to have the down year that Matthews had last year, but for his standards, It was a down year. And so I think there's two reasons why he is coming into this year with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And, some of these lists in the summertime where he was like the 7th best center, the 15th best player in the league. Like, let's not forget, less than 2 years ago, he shot at the net 69 times. Let's not forget that. So that's another reason that I think he's coming into this year with a little bit of an FU mindset. And the fact that the Leafs have unfinished business. They have not got to where they want to be. So for all those reasons, I think he's going to be really good. He's gotten through camp healthy this year, which he did not a year ago, and it really set the year up to go in a bad direction. So he's healthy. That's also good. He said he's really liked playing with Matthias Michelli in training camp, that there's a lot of aspects of his game that he feels is conducive to the way in which Matthews, wants to play. So there seems to be good partnership developing there. And again, I just don't see a lot of guys that, if Matthews is at his best, are capable of scoring at the rate that he is capable of. He's literally scoring at a better pace through this point in his career than Alex Ovechkin was at the same point in his career. That goes to show you how good a goal scorer he is. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Matthews. And when you look at when he's been healthy outside of last year, like, he's really never scored in recent memory at less than like a 45 goal a year pace. So I'm going to go with 50-54 this year for Matthews. I think he wins the Rocket.
So 54, is he the only guy to score 50? Last year, Draisaitl was the only one to score 50, and he did it in 71 games. The year before, we had 4 and 5. Do we get back to multiple 50-goal scores this year?
I think we'll have a few. I think Draisaitl could get there. I think McKinnon could get there. I could see McDavid getting there again. Pasternak, I don't know. It's only Boston's going to be very good. But I would expect more than one, because you're right. A couple of years ago, it seemed like there were quite a number of guys that had 50. Last year, dipped back a little bit. I'm going to go Matthews. I'll go Draisaitl. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll go for the two Oilers, McKinnon and Matthews.
All right. I like that. You look at it. So now here, Dave, this is for fun. Your stone cold lock, non-playoff team last year, playoff team this year.
The New York Rangers. Otherwise, there will be mutiny on Broadway. They could sell tickets to listen in the management offices at Madison Square Garden for what they charge to see a play on Broadway. That's how much intrigue there would be if they miss the playoffs. They've certainly operated this offseason in a way where they have intended to better their team and to get back to the playoffs after a year in which I know for a fact we're very disappointed how it played out, and we're quite frankly surprised how it played out. But what I will also say is they kind of got in their own way to an extent as well last year. But you look at their roster, it's a pretty sound roster. But there are some guys that need to be better. Mika Zibanejad needs to be better. They're bringing JT Miller in you got him for the whole year now. That should help. Lafreniere, man, he was great the first couple months last year, to the point where a number of colleagues and myself were like, man, this guy might be on Team Canada for the Four Nations. Then he fell off the map. I think there's a lot more for him there to show. Art Panarin is interested in a new deal. So don't think that he's going to, lollygag around this year. I think he's bound for a big year. Adam Fox needs to be better. I think he can be better. And if all of those things pan out, in a weaker division as well, the Metro, I think the Rangers should make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go against the Rangers as one of the teams that I feel very confident in to get back into the to the playoffs. Now, what about in the West? Is there any Western team that you feel really confident about?
Probably less confident than the New York Rangers, but what I would say is I think the Ducks have a chance to get back into the playoffs this year. I thought their team for a little while was too predicated on youth. There was too much youth and inexperience there. And I think Pat Verbeek recognized that, and he went out and he upgraded accordingly and brought in some veterans to surround their really talented young core, but to take some of the pressure off, right? Like you bring in Chris Kreider, that moves Cutter Gauthier down the lineup a little bit. You bring in, Mikael Granlund, that insulates some guys to an extent. Now they've got multiple lines that can score. They've got a veteran line, an entirely veteran line of Ryan Strome, Frank Vetrano, and Alex Killorn. Like that'll be a good line that I think Joel Quenneville, who's another factor we need to consider when it comes to the Ducks. This is a guy who knows how to get a team in order and get them going in the right direction. Remember what he did with Florida before he stepped aside. He had them starting to turn in the right direction after a team that was, for some number of years, I think, disappointing in terms of what they were expected to do versus what they actually showed. So they've got some experience up their lineup. Their blue line is really sound. They've got some veterans sprinkled around their young players like the Lacombes and the Zellwegers and the Mintyukovs. So they've got a good mix there. And then when you look at the back end, I think Lucas Dostal has shown himself to be a guy who is ready to take over significant minutes. That's why they moved on John Gibson, because they wanted to clear a path for Lucas Dostal to be the guy. And he kind of was the guy last year. He played a lot of games last year. So I look at the Ducks as a team that has a chance to make the playoffs in the West, just because when you look at that division, I see Vegas and the Oilers as absolute locks to get in. And then after that, quite honestly, Jason, I think it's wide open. Teams like the Ducks, teams like Vancouver, teams like LA, teams like Calgary. And in Calgary's case, they start the season with a very, very difficult schedule. They could start 2-8 for fun. And if that's the case, I think they could slide in the wrong direction quite quickly. After the first two, I think there's a lot of opportunity to nip into that third spot, and I can see the Ducks doing it.
All right. Now, on the other side, is there a playoff team in each conference that you're like, you're out? And I preface this by saying the last 3 years, there's been 4, 3, and 3 teams that were 100-point teams the previous year who then missed the playoffs. Last year, the Rangers, 114, President's Trophy winners, Canucks and Bruins, 109 each. All 3 missed it. And it's hard to wrap your head around. So it doesn't have to be a 100-point team even, Dave. I'll give you a little bit of a note.
Okay.
Who's your stone cold lock playoff team from last year that will be out this year?
I'm going to have to go with the Washington Capitals.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. And I'm not even saying they're going to be bad, but they may end up with like 93 points, 94 points and miss the playoffs. Right? I think they'll be good, but I think the competition to get in is going to be more difficult this year in the Metro Division, because I think, let's look at what happened last year. We were expecting the Rangers to be in, and they fell off the map. I don't expect that to happen again. I think Columbus is a lot better. They, to me, are kind of the Ducks of the East. They just missed it last year. And there was a period of time in March where Eric Goodbranson told me back in the summertime that he thought they really shot themselves in the foot. They felt like they should have been a playoff team last year. So they're going in with expectations. So, if the Blue Jackets are better and the Rangers get in, someone's got to come out. And I think with Washington last year, honestly, I still like their team. But a lot of things broke their way last year. they had the Ovechkin goal chase, which I think propelled them to an extent. And it was something really to galvanize around. And the group became close because of it. And the fact that they were good as he was chasing, I think only propelled them further. Their goaltending was really good. But if you look at some of the advanced metrics from people that look into these things who I trust, they were telling me for the first half, if not 2/3 of the year, they were asking themselves, how are they this good? The numbers suggest they shouldn't be quite as good as they were. So I just wonder if there could be a little regression on the part of the Capitals, and a little improvement on the part of the Rangers and the Blue Jackets. Maybe the Islanders are a little bit better, and then suddenly points are a little bit more difficult to come by. And then Washington ends up being a good team, but they could be Columbus last year and miss it by a point or two. And you look and say, we had a decent year, but we missed. And they won't be happy about it. But that's the team that I'm going to pick, because someone's got to come out if someone's going in, right? And if the Rangers are in, like I say is my lock, then the most logical point is to pick a team in that division that was in last year that's got to come out. And I don't think it's going to be the Hurricanes, and I don't think it's going to be the Devils.
Dave McCarthy joins us. Davey, have yourself a great year. Frank Nazar scored the first goal of the NHL season. And then a minute later, the Panthers noted scorer AJ Greer tied it up. And it is 1-1. So, you know what? The young guy in Chicago scores, and then the Blackhawks give up a lead right away. Things that will probably happen a lot this year in Chicago. Have yourself a great day. That is Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM. Quick break. We'll come back. We got Cam Tate. I think it might be a 3-minute warning today. Tater had so much stuff to say, he needed an extra minute. So we'll get to that and more on the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where today, Lotto Max, 15 million. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
You've probably heard the term supply and demand. Something is needed and someone supplies it. We're GS Construction, and we're in the supply and demand business with you. Edmonton and the surrounding area continue to grow. Infrastructure has to be continually replaced and upgraded to keep up with demand. You see it with new buildings and new roads, but what about below ground, where all sorts of pipes bring you water and take wastewater away? That's where we come in. For more on what we do, go to gsconstruction.ca. Whoa, who turned off all the lights? Experience the new charcoal menu at Booster Juice.
Charcoal menu?
Introducing the Eclipse Smoothie, Blackout Booster Mixer, and Midnight Booster Ball.
Where's that voice coming from?
Dark and delicious, made with activated charcoal.
Can we please turn the lights back on?
Sorry, I'm just excited about the new charcoal menu.
Wow, that is good.
Right?
Available now, only at Booster Juice.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House. Indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for Kids Sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I want to explain how our operation works. You see, over at the new RV store, they take orders and try to sell them all by camping season, and sometimes they sell out early. Sometimes they're stuck with a few that just won't move, and maybe they take a couple of used ones on trade. At No Bull, it's a whole different ballgame.
You have inventory arriving all the time, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. The RVs at No Bull are here on consignment. Folks choose to sell their RVs with us because the customers are already here.
And you specialize in used RVs.
Better believe it, Bob. The new RV stores are not that interested in used models. And nobody in Alberta has more quality used RVs than we do. Not by a long shot. So if you want to sell yours fast, come to where the buyers are. And that's here.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and the people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Ooh, a little runaway. Well, it's not a runaway yet, as the NHL season has begun. There's some runaway potential in MLB playoffs as the Jays look to sweep the Yankees tonight. As you have on the mound, it's going to be Rodon versus Bieber. And that, of course, will have first pitch at 6:08. Edmonton time. The Seattle-Detroit game is in a rain delay right now. It was supposed to start almost 2 hours ago, and nothing has happened just yet. So that's a storyline to watch, as that series is tied. It's the only series that's tied at 1 in the ALDS in MLB. It is the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Man, we're really excited that the growth of our YouTube channel, and only just in 1 month. So thank you very much for watching it, and clips and sharing stuff and subscribing. So keep subscribing, people. We really, truly do appreciate it. It helps you increase the chances of us having local sports content for you, which is outstanding. Now let's get to the 2-minute warning, which might be a 3-minute warning today with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. Furnace breaks down tonight, on the weekend. Call Legacy. They'll come fix it, and at no extra cost. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town, 45 years. Cam was born with cerebral palsy. Never let him stop him. He's in a wheelchair. And Cam always wanted to be on radio, and now, through the wonders of technology, his words come to life in a 2-minute warning.
On a warm 2017 July morning, sunlight streamed through the Hall of Fame room in Rogers Place, bending across the polished glass cases that hold echoes of Oilers' past. Connor McDavid stood near the north wall, flanked by his parents Brian and Kelly, just 20, barely out of boyhood. His face carried the innocence of youth, the cheeks unlined, the shoulders narrow, the smile a little nervous. Who wouldn't be? About to sign a $100 million contract. His eyes, wide, earnest, revealed the cocktail of awe, disbelief, and hope. Edmonton that day embraced him not merely as a player, but as a promise. To this morning, Rogers Place again, but a different room, a different wall. The south side wall of the Oilers' dressing room. A different Connor, now 28, steady, settled. A smartly trimmed beard, a crisp Oilers cap tugged low, a wedding band gleaming as quietly as a vow. His words are careful, but confident. This was no longer just the prodigy. This was the planet's finest hockey player speaking as a leader, as an astute businessman, as a man with a plan. The contract? 2 years, $25 million. Astonishing, yes. But the thunder lies not in what he took, rather in what he left behind. Close to $20 million, untouched, unclaimed. That is no accident. It is a statement that Edmonton matters, that victory matters, that legacy matters more than ledger. He has chosen teammates over treasure, championships over checks. It's a certified vow that Edmonton, snow-blown, winter-bruised, but unyielding, will be the hill he climbs with his band of brothers, and if need be, the hill he dies on. We have known our moments, 5 cups, Gretzky's tears, Messier's grin. Let this one join them. McDavid's extension is more than ink on paper. It is faith in a city, and perhaps one of the finest moments Edmonton will ever know. 2-minute warning. Weekdays, Gregor, Halley, Tate. Sports 1440.
1,440. Classic. So there you go. Yes, it was. It's a big deal for McDavid. There's no question about it. But I would like to point out something, because I'm sure many of you have read it. And the worst part is you have guys in Edmonton repeating the narrative. Oh, the clock is ticking on Edmonton. Connor McDavid has 3 years left in his contract. How come then for the last 2 years, no one was like, clock's ticking, McDavid's contract's almost up? What the Oilers have been to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. And people are like, oh, the management, there's pressure to build a contender. They are a contender. Are you a buffoon not paying attention to anyone suggesting they're not a contender? And the suggestion that the clock is ticking, how is it ticking louder now than it was last year when, oh, by the way, at the start of last season, he had 2 years remaining. The start of this season, he has 3. So in theory, the clock should have been ticking way more last year, if that's your argument. It makes no sense. And it's funny how so many people will just repeat something without even thinking. Oh, yeah, clock's ticking, tick-tock, tick-tock. You saw like the hockey news. Really? That's your title of an article? Tick-tock? How about ding-dong? A few other words I would say in that point. But it is, it's stunning to me that, you mentioned something like that. Oh, the clock is ticking on him. You think they haven't wanted to win for the last few years? That's been their entire focus. And they came incredibly close. But guess what? Can't win all the time. It's hard to damn well win. Health, many other factors go into it. And you can have the best laid out plan. And an injury at the wrong time, maybe an unlucky bounce at the wrong time, and you lose. But don't buy into the narrative that the clock is ticking and suddenly there's more pressure on Edmonton management now than there was last year. In fact, it makes no sense because last year they only had 2 years of a contract. Right now, there's 3. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm pretty sure 3 is longer and more years than 2 years. So don't buy into it, Oilers fans. Be proud, be confident, but just don't buy into the narratives that get spread around all the time. It's kind of ridiculous. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Let's take a quick break. Coming up in the next hour, Jason Strudwick is going to join us. We also have coming up Mark Spector, Derek Van Diest, and we'll get your thoughts. We're going to open up the phones, 833-401-1440 or text line 833-401-1440. Who is your stone cold lock non-playoff team last year to make the playoffs this year? And conversely, playoff team last year, who ain't making it this year? You can text us or call us 833-401-1440. It's the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by Fountain Tire. Do you need tires, but your wallet isn't ready? Well, guess what? Fountain Tire, they got you covered. 0% financing for 6 months or easy equal payments over 12, both with no interest. Because road ready doesn't have to mean wallet ready. FountainTire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
As expected, the Edmonton Oilers have recalled forward Ike Howard from the Condors. Team also lending forward James Hamlin down to Bakersfield. Oilers get their season going tomorrow night, hosting the Flames at Rogers Place. Right now, Panthers up on the Blackhawks 2-1 with about 30 seconds left in the first period. Later on this evening, you got Rangers, Penguins, and then Avs and Kings meeting in Los Angeles at 8:30. Major League Baseball playoffs rolling on tonight. Yankees and Jays getting going just after 6 o'clock. From the Bronx, Toronto leads that series 2-0. Mariners and Tigers were set to get going a few hours ago. They're still in a rain delay in the top of the first. Obviously scoreless. That series tied at a game apiece each. In the NFL, some trades today. The Cincinnati Bengals acquiring veteran quarterback Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick from Cleveland for a 5th-round pick, and the Chargers acquiring a linebacker Odafe Owe from the Baltimore Ravens, along with a 7th-round pick for safety Alohi Gilman and a 5th-round selection. And in the NBA preseason tonight, you got Bulls and Cavs at 5, then at 6, Pacers, Timberwolves. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll take your calls and texts at 1-833-401-1440. Also ask 5 questions and be joined by former NHLer Jason Strudwick. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Edmonton Elks Campus Clash is back, presented by Innova. October 11th versus the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, featuring $18 student tickets, food and drink specials, after party at Auburn's Ice District, and you could win a trip to Cancun. Tickets at goelks.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. I'm super excited to tell you today that we have fed over 250 families so far with our Feed 500 Families event. With that said, we are still short of our goal. We have decided to continue this on through to the end of October. With your help and your support, we can get this done. Please stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Strudwick. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin.
That's at 3 o'clock.
Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes.
I said 25 grand.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Good one,
Much
Cons.
better.
Good one. The
now you just won a
NHL.
brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner. On pack and in app. Monopoly Double
Not a
Play.
runaway yet.
While supplies last,
Yeah,
1 in 5 chances to win
Chelsea's
games,
gun.
prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on the number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting needs, specializing in selling and servicing cranes. Get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.405, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day as we make it through halfway through the show today. Tomorrow will, of course, be the puck drop on the season opener, the Oilers and the Calgary Flames. We can get through the rosters to kind of know who's going to play for both teams. Huberdeau, Pospisil out for the Flames, Hyman Janmark out for the Edmonton Oilers. Also, young Zane Perrick doesn't look like he's going to play tomorrow for the Flames. Likely will play Thursday against Vancouver, and maybe that's just the organization, protecting them against the likes of McDavid and Draisaitl. You're on the road. If you're head coach Chris Knobloch with last change, would you put him out against the rookie? I think I would, for sure. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, and it's better odds for the NHL, easier to maneuver online at PlayAlberta.ca, or download the app and right at your fingertips. Casino, sports, live dealers, lottery, instants, and more. PlayAlberta.ca. So we asked, you can text us 833-401-1440, or you can dial us up 833-401-1440. A few thoughts. Who is your stone cold Play Alberta lock to be a playoff team last year? Who's out this year? Also, pick the other way. Team that missed the playoffs last year, who's going to get in this season? We got a lot of those coming in already. Hey, guys, Flames make it. The Kings don't. From Stu. Ooh, really? Hey, boys, I'm going Islanders in, Montreal out. Habs way overrated, from Daniel. The Habs are an interesting one. I think Montreal is going to be one of the most entertaining teams to watch all season long, because they will have, I think they're going to score some goals. I think they're still going to give up some goals. So that's why I said entertaining. Hey, boys, Washington out, Buffalo in. There's a few people that think the Capitals are going to just flame out. That would be quite the flame out, going from winning. Now, I know the Rangers did it last year, so I can't sit here and say, no, that's a terrible pick, because here, when anybody thought the Rangers, Canucks, and Bruins would all flame out last year, a lot of us had concerns over Boston for sure. But I didn't see a lot of people picking the Rangers to just tank, especially after the start they had. Like, the Rangers were good through the first 15 games, and then, did they drive it into the ditch over the final 67 games. Camrose Chris has the Vegas Golden Knights out and the Flames in. Mike says, guys, people won't believe me, but Vegas Going to run into some injuries. They're an older team. They'll miss Pietrangelo. They're out. And I will say the Vancouver Canucks are in. Well, injuries always play a part in it. There's no debate on that, right? Like, you have that many injuries for a certain team and it can derail you. Like, if all of a sudden they had another big injury on the back end, that could be tough sledding for Vegas. They're still a good team. And the one thing Vegas does incredibly well, they start. Like, they are ready to roll out of the gate. What were they? But there's like 15-4-1 a few years ago. Like, they've been really good out of the gate. And if Edmonton, that's why I think they need a better start. So you're not playing such a massive game of catch up all season long. That can become a big one. Hey, Greg's PS, thanks here. I'm so tired of the narrative already. Thank you from Camaros, Chris. Yeah, like it just bothers me sometimes, narratives that make no sense. Like, how is there more pressure, tick-tock, on the clock of the Oilers now with 3 years than at the start of last season when McDavid only had 2 years left? How is it any different? Like, the Oilers have been building to win for the last few years. That's their whole goal, the player. And they talk openly about it, which I think is fantastic. Everybody knows where they're in. They're here to win. Yeah, some other guys are going to get older, but Connor McDavid, like when we talk Connor McDavid aging, like I don't care if he's 31. I don't care if Draisaitl's 32. You think in 3 years, those guys aren't still going to be elite players in the game? They're driving the bus. Evan Bouchard isn't going to be old in a few years. Now you got like Adam Henrique, his contract's done this year. He probably goes by. I don't think Jake Wallman in 2-3 years is going to be old. Darnell Nurse, no. Stuart Skinner, no, if he's still here. He's not old. So, yeah, Zach Hyman's older. But Zach Hyman makes $5 million. He doesn't have a bad contract. Right? Same with Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins skates. So guess what? Nugent Hopkins this year is probably going to be your third-line center. What's wrong with that? Lots of teams around the league have $5 million third-line centers if they're good. Right? I think Nugent Hopkins is more effective as a center than he is as a winger. And I think Chris Knobloch told me flat out that he wants to use Nugent Hopkins more as a center this year. He likes him there as a center. And I think Nugent Hopkins has said it. He's more effective as a center iceman. Right? He played a lot of center in the playoffs this past spring at 20 points. So nothing wrong with that. Hey, guys, I'm going Boston in, the Devils out. Ooh, the Devils out, which I don't mind that because I picked it, but Boston. All right. Bruins coming back in. I like it. Hey, Gregor, I'm going with them because I love their new logo. The Mammoth are in. And St. Louis is out. Well, the Blues, I'm curious to watch Robert Thomas. Do you know who led the NHL after the Four Nations break in scoring from the end of February to the end of the season, which was over almost a third of the season? It was Thomas. He played really well for them. He had 40 points in 26 games. Will he continue that pace? If he does, I think St. Louis is a mortal lock to get in, but I'm not sure. Like, that's a pretty high pace, 1.5 a game. It's hard to do. There's not many guys in the NHL that do that. Draisaitl, McDavid's, Kucherov, McKinnon, those type of guys, but not many others. Hey, Gregor, didn't the Oilers win against New York early in the New Year, start their tailspin? Fuzzy. No, Fuzzy. The tailspin for the Rangers started basically at game 16. It started when their GM came out and said, Trouba available, Kreider available. And it just seemed to, it did not ignite his team in a positive way. It pretty much annoyed him. And they just cratered after that. They just went, they were over the final 67 games. I think the Rangers were 27th or 28th in points in the NHL. It was not even close to good enough for them. But I do think the Rangers will bounce back this year. I have the Rangers as a playoff team. I don't think their division's very hard, but I also think that they will be a playoff team this year. No question. Shesterkin's good. I think Sullivan's going to come in. He'll get the attention of that team. Adam Fox can play better. Got JT Miller all season long. So most predictions, I would say, with the caveat, if they remain relatively healthy. If it's one injury, that's different. You get multiple injuries to key guys, well, that That one's it. Hey guys, Thomas fell big time in my fantasy draft. Could be a steal. Well, Sean, how late did he fall? Yeah, could be a massive steal. Like if he falls, he's still a guy who you look and say, yeah, this guy can score 75, 80 points for me. Feel pretty confident about it. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Boys, battle in California. Kings out, Ducks in. Well, the LA Kings come in. They are now Oilers fans. You don't have to hear it anymore. The Oilers aren't the oldest team in the league. They are now at 29 point. And this is why I do like to point it out, because when people talk about, they're the oldest team in the league or this or that, I'm like, yeah, sure. But like, we're talking like 30.2. And then there's a bunch of teams that are like 29.1. Like, I don't know if that 1 year average makes that much of a difference. But Winnipeg, LA, Vegas, the oldest team. Edmonton is now the 8th oldest team at 29.1 years of age. Their average height is 6'1". Their weight is 200 pounds, which I don't know why, but that seems like, I got to look at I know they got they do have a few small forwards, and I will say this. You can play Mangiapane, Savoy, and Nugent Hopkins as a line in game 1 of the regular season. I have no problem with that. I think it'll be fine. But I don't think that's a line you could play together in the playoffs. I just don't. It's just too small. The game's different. You're going to have to spread those guys around. Otherwise, I don't see it having a ton of success. I am intrigued by the third line. Size and speed, physicality. Kapanen, Podkolzin, Noah Philp. And Kasperi Kapanen is a player who has a little bit of a shift disturber in him. When he was in Toronto that year, when he scored, people did not like playing against him. Right? Like, he's not scared, just agitated. Podkolzin, relentless forechecker. And Noah Philp, this guy can really skate. And man, I hope he comes up and he's like, I just want to show I am here. I want to win myself a job, and I want to keep a job. And sometimes you play outside your comfort zone. And he should be comfortable. He's fought some real tough guys. He's big. He's physical. But man, if I was Noah Philp, I'd be looking to make sure I get noticed physically. I'm not running around massively out of position, but he's a good skater. And he could easily be physical. That's a line that I think Knobloch is hoping can bring an identity of just relentlessness. So, and we'll see where it goes from there. But that's an intriguing line for me, for sure. Hey guys, do you think if the Islanders midway through the season aren't making the playoffs, would the Oilers inquire about Sorokin? He's the only starting goalie I can think of that might be available from Brad. Well, you mean like the only elite one? Sure. I think the Islanders will be in the mix, early on. They'd have to be out of it by the end of February, early March. There's not many teams really out of it. We would have a sense maybe, but like if you're the Islanders, why are you trading Sorokin? Because let's look. So you're going to trade him for Skinner. Skinner's a pending UFA. Are you going to trade 5 years of Sorokin for 3 months of Skinner? And obviously Edmonton's going to have to give up way more. But you're going to have to give up a goalie to make the deal work. Right? So it would have to be Skinner. No brainer. But Sorokin makes a boatload of cake. The Oilers would have to give up a lot. Like, you got to give up even money or close to it in that deal to get Sorokin. Skinner only makes 2.6. Sorokin makes 8. So you're going to have to add, Adam Henrique's an expiring contract, sure, but so that would be a tough one, I think. Just when you look at the salary cap differential and how they'd be able to do it. So we'll see. We'll take a break. Jason Strudwick will join us next. We'll get Struddy's thoughts on our question. We're going to talk some Oilers. We're going to talk Regula expectations for the young D-man who, after a year off, has really battled his way into the lineup. Now, I don't expect them to use him on the penalty kill right away. I think they're going to use the other 5 defensemen in Emberson, Kulak, Bouchard, Nurse, and Ekholm. But I think Regula's got a lot on his plate. He's playing with Darnell Nurse right now. And I think maybe as the season goes along, you'll see him potentially getting some PK time, but don't expect it to happen right away. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's a Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, your one-stop shop and the only online legal gambling website in Alberta, playalberta.ca.
Michelle and Colette are sisters. Sisters who don't agree on much, especially when it comes to which hockey team is the best.
Edmonton is the best, baby. Vancouver's number one.
Even when it coms to meat snacks from Wilhawks.
I love the Harris Schweiner. The ham sausage rules.
But they will agree.
Wilhauk beef jerky is the best.
It might just be the only thing Alberta hockey fans can agree on.
Others can try to imitate, but no one can duplicate Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win friends with salad.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Looking for auto parts without the dealership price tag? You'll save big here at Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. From engines and alternators to doors and glass, we carry quality tested used parts at unbeatable prices. Why spend thousands when you can spend hundreds? Keep your car and your budget running strong with Ed's Auto Salvage. I'm Lisa, inviting you to stop in soon or visit us online. We offer province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton. edsautosalvage.com.
If you change your mind, take a chance on the 13 line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. If you
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. It's Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular priced pizza when you use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back. Man, what a great week. You're a sports fan. You're all excited. The NHL is back. You got MLB playoffs. You got, it's a playoff week in the CFL. The Elks need a win. You got upsets galore all over in the NFL. Man, great time. NBA preseason is going on. And for those of you who thought it turns out it was the decision. Wow, how stupid about a commercial. Or what is he teaming up with some sort of drink? LeBron. Well, you know what? The advertiser probably liked it. People are like, oh my God, he's going to retire. As if he was never going to retire that way. There's no chance. He will. I could see him having like a 2-year. I'm going to retire in 2 years. So everybody can thank me twice. And I like LeBron as a player. Is unreal what he's done. But I would love, I would love him to surprise me and just announce he's retiring like Gretzky did. A few games left in the season. That's the best way to do it. Teams should ban any player who comes in with the idea, hey, you know what? I want to announce my retirement all year long. You know what? We're not doing that. We'll wait till later in the year. That would be fantastic. There's no reason to do it. I love Kopitar. He's a great player, but are you kidding me? No thanks. Now, let's get to Struds On, brought to you by Action Electrical. The most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta is hiring second, third, fourth year electricians. If you're looking, you can apply today, careers at actionelectrical.net, and work for a fantastic company, their 53rd year in business.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea. It is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you hand me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, what is happening?
Greg, it's funny. You talk about LeBron and, him maybe talking about retiring or whatever, but the Oilers, they didn't want to come and ask me if I would retire. They made me promise I'd retire my last year. We don't want you back. Just quit.
Oh, that's fair, right? It's fair. Although they didn't want you to quit in Sweden, did they try to get you to come back for one more year?
Yeah, they did. They liked what I was, the moves. Well, when you're Division 2 and you're dominating like I was, it's pretty impressive, buddy. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Struddy, the NHL season has officially begun as the Blackhawks and Panthers are tied at 2 early in the second period. So I've got some questions we're asking all our guests today and our audience. We've got some good answers. So I'm going to give you the same questions. Who are your 4 regular season division winners?
Okay, I've got Dallas, I've got Tampa, I've got Carolina, and Vegas Golden Knights.
Ooh, you love Vegas all the time, eh?
It's true. You know what? I knew you were going to say that, and this is my reasoning. I think that Vegas is they've got a ton of firepower up front, and they had a lot of scoring last year. Adding Marner is not going to hurt that at all and make them good. It doesn't necessarily mean I like their team. I don't like their defense. I don't know if they have guys that can step up and play. Missing Pietrangelo is a big deal. But in the regular season, I think that all those goals will translate to a lot of wins for that group.
Okay. You don't think they're going to miss Pietrangelo on the back end and Haig?
I do. So I think that will affect them more in the playoffs than it will in the regular season.
Okay. Well, yeah, I would agree with you on that one. No question about it. For the playoffs, well, they'll try to maybe add something because they do get the money from Pietrangelo, although it's pretty much used up anyway. But he is out for the year. He's not coming back. That was announced today. It's the new rule in the NHL. If you put a guy in LTIR and you put him on season ending, which means he's out for the playoffs, then you can use all of his cap space. But if you put a player on LTIR and you think they're coming back, well, then you only use a percentage of their cap space for the remainder of the year. So that's where it's very different now, the rules in the NHL. So you have those 4 division winners. Where do you have the Oilers finishing?
I have them second in the Pacific Division. But I think when they get to the playoffs, I think they'll have their way with Vegas because I don't think the D for Vegas is that good. Some of those guys might better step up, but I'm telling you, Haig, I think he's underrated. I think that he's simple, no doubt, but I love big, simple D-men that are surrounded by some skilled players, and that recipe worked for Vegas. And then Pietrangelo, yes, he's getting older. Yes, he was 100%. But, man, that guy's a winner, and he's a really, really good D-man. I said it before, and I'll say it again. In a straight-up trade, I wouldn't have traded Marner for Pietrangelo. That's not a trade I'd make. And I wouldn't make a skilled winger trade for a skilled defense or a good defensive like Petro, number 1. That's not a trade I'm willing to make. So, again, I think in regular season, they're going to be very good at scoring. They're going to be fast and play, and get their points. But I think when it comes to the playoffs, just like last year, I think they'll struggle.
Yeah. Looking at the Art Ross, Struddy, not a trophy that you were ever really interested in, but The Art Ross winner, who is it and how many points?
I think Connor McDavid's going to have an incredible year this year, or like a good year. He didn't play a ton of games last year, didn't score a lot. So I have him. I know this is not popular. I think he's going to have about 38 goals. He had 74 assists last year. I think between the goals and the assists he's going to get around 120, 125 points. So we're looking at a lot of apples for Connor McDavid.
A lot of apples this year. All right. So how many points for him? What are you saying?
I got anywhere from 120 to 125, so if I have him like 38 to 40 goals, that's about 80 assists, 78 to, 82, 83, 84, somewhere assists like that. So I think he's going to have, a healthy year, a full year. And with that, he'll beat guys, the guys that got there last year, like in Tampa, what's his name?
Kucherov.
Kucherov, yeah.
What about the Rocket? Who's winning? How many?
This one's harder. You look back last year, Leon's the only guy with the top goal scorers. Austin Matthews, I think that Marner affected the game so many different ways for Leafs. I don't know if, including power play, which was huge. I know that helped Matthews with his goals. So I might go same. If Leon and Connor are going to play quite a bit together this year, I'm going to put Leon over 50. I don't think he goes wild over 50, but I've got him, that 52 to 55, playing beside the big guy, Connor. So I think those two guys will sweep both of those events.
So you have the Oilers sweeping those two. All right. Give me your lock non-playoff team last year who's a lock to be a playoff team this year.
You sent me these questions, and all of them I felt really comfortable with and was my answer. These I'm not quite so comfortable. So I'm going to go a little bit off the map here. I'm going to go with Utah Mammoth. I really like the moves they've done, including Terka. You look at some of the guys they've added. The challenge, though, for this group, they weren't healthy last year. So now I hope that they're healthy. They did lose Kessler, who I think is a pretty good young defenseman, but they're going to be healthier. I think this team has a real chance to get close to the playoffs. The problem is they're in a really, really good division, which can make it hard.
Okay, so you have Utah. Then who's your mortal lock playoff team to come out of the playoffs?
Yeah, that's the hardest one. God, I've been struggling with this one. I'm just to be different a little bit, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Wild. I know that it seems like it's going backwards. They had some health issues last year, and they still were, a playoff team. But I just feel that a lot of things went right there on the ice. So I'm going to have them off. But honestly, Greg's, I was going through a lot of different teams trying to figure out who wouldn't make the playoffs. Like I'm looking at, I think Toronto makes the playoffs. I think Florida makes the playoffs. Tampa makes the playoffs. The Oilers make the playoffs. Vegas make the playoffs. Kings make the playoffs. They go through every team, and it's hard to talk yourself out. So by kind of the process of elimination, I feel winning Minnie's a one. Who did you say?
Well, I went the Devils.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think you know what? The Devils always seem to get banged up. And I think that's why. I also have the Rangers getting back in. They were my mortal lock non-playoff team to get back in. And the LA Kings, Strutty, I didn't think the Kings I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings don't make it either. And they're older. They lost Gavrikov. I'm not sold on what the Kings are, to be honest. I don't know. Now, last year they had Drew Doughty hurt and it didn't really bother them at all. So, you know what? They played quite well with Darcy Kemper. And so, the Kings are just a terrible matchup for the Oilers are a terrible matchup for the Kings. But I don't know why. There's just something about LA that I think that things might go sideways there for them. And, maybe I'll be wrong. But here's the thing. And you're right about it. It's hard mentally to wrap your head around it. But in each of the last 3 seasons, there's been 3 and 1 year 4 100-point teams who missed the playoffs the next year. So if that trend continues, they got to pick somebody who's going to miss.
No, and you're right. And listen, but LA, 2 things that kind of made me want to believe they're going to make it. One is the Kopitar situation. I think the guys are going to play hard for him. And 2, Byfield, man. I'm a huge believer in this player, and we've seen some really good moments from him. I wonder if his minutes go up a bit more again this year, and his responsibility, because they're going to be transitioning from Kopitar to Byfield. Obviously, I'm guessing as their number 1 center. If not this year, it'll be next year. So I wonder what he can do there. Your point about New Jersey is well made. You and I have been talking about this a long time. I think that their top players are slight, and that is a difficult place to be when you're playing against these guys with big centers or big competitors. Like when JT Miller lines up against Hughes, you think he's like, oh man, this guy's going to punish me. Like there's no fear there, but JT knows he's going to go after them with that Rangers New Jersey battle. So I mean, someone's coming out for sure. It's going to be tricky. I mean, I just can't see Montreal coming out. I think Ottawa's going to trend in the right direction. That being said, I don't think Buffalo takes a step. I think that group is just they're just not put together right. They show you flashes and they leave you hanging. So it'll be interesting to see it. Boston, I don't think gets in there either. Can the Leafs slide? I don't think they'll get as many points as last year, but they slide out of the playoffs. I'd have a hard time believing that one.
No, I think they'll get in. Montreal wouldn't surprise me at all, Struddy. I think they're going to be highly entertaining. They're going to score a ton. I think they're going to give up a ton too. So you know what? Hey, I don't mind 4-3 games, 5-4 games. Sign me up for it. But I'm not sold just yet on their defense in Montreal.
You don't like their team defense or their defensemen?
The defensemen. I'm not like. I don't love
they're
it.
Young.
Yeah, they're very young. And young D-men, man. New Jersey a few years ago, we got all these young D-men. Yeah. Like,
fair point.
It's hard to play, like it's young D-men make more mistakes. That's just how it works.
Yeah, and they're, Caden Gooley's pretty good defender. Matheson's pretty good. Dobson and Lane Hudson are a little bit more, they want the puck on their stick, which is great. And when it is there, it's pretty dangerous. It'd be interesting for Marty St. Louis because that he's worked well with those young players, got them up and running. They've got Demidov coming. I don't necessarily. Kirby Dach has got a lot to show me. As far as he's been unhealthy and hasn't been the player that maybe they expected either in Chicago or Montreal. Then Patrick Laine. I guess you can be a one-trick pony on the power play, but he needs to bring more too. But Marty St. Louis has to make sure he teaches their own zone and being good in their own zone and defending hard. And does Marty have that in him? We'll find out. But ultimately, if they do become or continue to be a high-scoring team but can't defend, there may have to be additions to that coaching staff or a change at the top.
Yeah, it's very true. What's you look at the orders now? We see their lineup. Howard's going to play. It looks like with Henrique and Tomasic to start. Savoy's going to be with Nugent Hopkins and Mangiapane, which can be a great regular season line. No chance they can play together in the playoffs. Draisaitl, McDavid with Frederick. And then the interesting line to me, Struddy, is the third line of Kapanen, Podkolzin, and Noah Philp. And I had a long conversation today with Chris Knobloch after our media scrum, just talking about that line and what he likes about him. He's like big and fast, and he's really hoping they can kind of create an identity for this team as, good forechecking line. Like on paper, it should be that. Do you think they can do it? And do you think Philp can find a way to become an NHL regular this year?
I hope they're patient with them. I hope they because I'd love to see them become what they need, which is a big right shot sentiment. Like those things are valued around every league that's ever run. So it's funny, he talks about him wanting that line to create identity. I think that comes from the coach and helping them understand what you want from them. Every team I was ever on, you wanted to hear from the coach. What do you want me to do? Or what do you want this pair of D-men to do? Or what do you want this line of three to do? Or this penalty kill group? Like, tell us. Doesn't mean you love it. It doesn't mean every player's like, oh yeah, I want to be a checking line, or even though I don't really have those anymore, but I don't necessarily just see myself as a forechecking line. Well, everyone has to forecheck in today's NHL. You got to get in there and forecheck. So yes, I do think it can happen. I like how he's with a couple vets there in Noah Philp, and I think that he's a guy that I want to give him a long, long road to find his game and to really become an important, like a contributing member of that bottom six. And unfortunately for a guy like Curtis Lazar, he's kind of the one on the outside in, but that's the job when you're a depth veteran player.
100%. Curtis Lazar, who I think he's a guy that, probably didn't have a great preseason, to be honest, Struddy. And so he's one who might have to play his way back in. And, when Janmark's healthy here, there'll have to be a decision. Someone's going to have to go down. And then when Hyman comes in, you're going to have to send another guy down. So like this regular season roster that starts tomorrow night, there's going to be some changes in the next month simply when they get some veterans back. And so there'll be some guys who can play their way onto the regular lineup and some guys who might play their way down to Bakersfield.
Well, the thing with Hyman is that he's going to go in at the top, so it pushes people down.
Yes.
So Janmark's more in the 3 and 4, so you're not necessarily pushing guys down. You're just pushing someone out. And you're not going from first line to second to third. Because if Hyman comes back and he plays beside, let's say he's beside the big guys, well, Trent Baker comes down, someone's getting pushed down. Is that Ike Howard? Is that Savoy? So if they do get pushed down or their minutes get pushed down, and then you put them in the minors to give them a chance. So, and then there's injuries. So I think there's going to be a real rotation of players maybe playing in obviously on the team all year. And I think they've got to get those young guys. They have to play. They need these guys to become players. So I'm looking at Philip. I'm looking at obviously Savoy and Howard. Even some of the younger D-men, Emberson, and these types of guys. You need these guys to develop and play so you can say, okay, we've got these guys for the next few years, and they can replace player X, Y, Z in those positions.
Starty, I want to get your thoughts on Alec Regula, who after 18 months off has earned himself a spot. He's going to play with Darnell Nurse until Jake Wallman gets back in the lineup, which might be as early as Saturday. But what do you make of Regula as play, and what have you seen from the big defenseman?
You know what? I've been blown away by how well he's played. And I want to say with the game in Seattle, maybe I thought he really stood out. And, a lot of times you're watching the game, or I watch games, I'm like, I'm looking for this guy or that guy. And then your eyes drawn to player X, Y, or Z. And you're like, hey, well, who is this guy and why is he doing so well? And then you start watching him and you kind of discount the guys you thought you'd want to watch. So he's an interesting spot, Griggs. I understand there's a lot of discussion about protecting the asset, but he hasn't played it so long as he outlined. I think he still needs to play a lot of games. So it's a fine line. What happens if or when Wallman comes back and now you're on a rotation on the third pairing, and is that best for his development or just recovery from what he had happened to him and missing that time? So I'm really interested to see how this works, because this is a little bit different than like Evan Bouchard during the COVID times. How are they going to get him continue to make sure he's up and running? And a guy that might suffer is just like Curtis Lazar, unfortunately, beat Troy Stetcher. He might be a guy that, gets sat for long stretches to try to help develop and bring along Regula, because he's the answer, could be an answer for the next number of years, as opposed to where Stetcher is in his career and kind of his ceiling.
Strutty, it's going to be a fascinating year. What's your expectations for Stuart Skinner this season?
Well, to use his words, consistency is the big thing. We've seen him do really well. We've seen him, have some stretches that he'd like to have back. I think that the Oilers, not the whole season, but their ability to add what they need at the deadline is all around the goaltending crease. They need him to be consistent. And is that a save percentage number? Is it 910? Is it 908? Is it 905? I think it's anything that starts with a 9. And if he's been consistent, I think then, okay, we can now add, or Stan Bowman said, we can add up front. We can add, as you're saying, maybe some size on the wing or a top 6 forward that's required, or maybe you can get both in one player. If he is struggling, I think that really changes everything and what they're able to do. So if I'm Stu Skinner, I'm really focused on having a good start to the year. I don't need to start with 5 shutouts, but I want to be solid and build on game 2. And I know he's a veteran goalie, but I think for his state of mind and for the new goaltending coach, starting strong will be absolutely huge. If he kind of has a tough time to start, I wonder if he ever gets on track as the year goes on. So consistency, and those are his words that I'm using and not mine.
Strutty, have yourself a great day. Is your former teammate buying you dinner now that he got a contract extension?
My former teammate? Who's that?
Huska.
Oh, Ryan Huska. Oh, man, he never bought me anything. That guy was so tight. Never bought me one meal, nothing. It's unfortunate. I looked after him in the Western League. I was like his policeman. But, I think it's great. We have 2 really good youngish coaches here in Alberta with Ryan Huska and Chris Knobloch. My concern for Huska is who is scoring goals. They work so hard. They defend so hard and make all these good things happen. Their goaltender was great last year, but man, they had to work hard for goals. And, can Huberdeau and especially Kodrick, can they score like they did last year? And if not, where they can get to replace those goals from? So I think it might be, another hard-working year for that team. But man, playoffs, I don't know. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't think it happens.
I would agree wholeheartedly with you on that. Strutty, have yourself a great day. We will chat with you next Tuesday. We'll have 3-4 games. Well, 3, I think, for the Oilers already to talk about. So it should be fun. Have a good one.
I'm Jack. So many great storylines this year. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks.
There you go. That is Jason Strudwick. Struds on. Join us every Tuesday on Sports 1440. We'll take a break. We come back. We got 5 questions. We got a busy final hour and 15 minutes of the show. It's the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, it's Tuesday. Lotto Max. Get your tickets. PlayAlberta.ca. 15 million up for grabs.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regeneralife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
It's Midnight Madness at the Brick. Stores close Friday to lower prices, then reopen at 5 p.m. with incredible 7-hour deals. The first 10 customers get $50 to spend on anything in store. Score free local delivery when you spend $4.99 or more. Plus, buy any TV or appliance and get a $50 credit to spend on furniture, decor, or mattresses. And take 5 years, pay with 0 interest on your Flexity card. OAC terms and conditions apply. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Carve out for a cause at the Jason Gregor Pizza Pig Out, presented by GS Construction. Thursday, November 6th at the Canadian Ice House, indulge in unlimited pizza from amazing local pizzerias while you help raise some dough for kids' sport. Then vote for your favorite slice to help crown the People's Choice Award winners. Tickets to join Edmonton's biggest and best adult pizza party are just $30. Head to jasongregorpizzapigout.com for more details and to buy tickets.
Listen up, because we're about to tell you what nobody else will. There's a serious problem in auto service. The price you expect is almost never the price you pay. Big Toy Shop tells it like it is. No BS, no false inflated bill. It's just the honest service you need, done quickly and done well at a price that doesn't make you feel like a chump. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. Call 780-298-2797.
3 locations, endless sports action. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge. Sully's is the place to catch every game this fall. With tons of TVs, there's never a bad seat in the house. Check out the game night food and drink features and bring your friends for all the fun with Oilers watch parties all season long. Sully's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regeneralife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Did you know that Japa offers in-house and on-site heavy equipment service? Rain or shine, Japa's service department is here for you. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
4:48 game day on Sports 1440. Of course, NHL regular season is back as you have 3 games tonight, triple header on ESPN and right here in Canada as well on Sportsnet that starts with Florida and Chicago that is going on right now. They are tied at 2 late in the second period. Then you got the Rangers hosting the Penguins, and the late game has the LA Kings hosting the Colorado Avalanche. Also tonight, though, I think probably a bigger game than many Canadians are watching. The Blue Jays in action tonight for a chance to sweep the New York Yankees. Can't wait. Should be a great game. Bieber on the mound against Rodon. So should be a fun night of sports, as every night in October pretty much is right now. It's a great time. Great time. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, and that the store closes upcoming for Midnight Madness. Midnight Madness will be this weekend, okay, on the 10th. And you have from 5 p.m. till midnight. Buy any TV or appliance, you get $50 credit on furniture decor, up to 50% off mattresses. And you can visit any of the 4 locations, Northside, South Common, West End, and downtown for their outlet store, The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, you've asked the listeners. Now give me your 4 division winners this season.
In the regular season, I have Dallas, I have Edmonton, I have Toronto, and Carolina, because they are regular season champs, and I don't like their team makeup to go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that one. I don't think the Caps are going to pull it off again this year. So I got the Canes. Give me the Tampa Bay Lightning instead. Colorado and Edmonton to get it done this season. Question number 2 for you. Season officially underway. Hawks and Panthers set at 2 apiece. Who is your pick to meet in the Stanley Cup final?
Oh yeah, I went with one that is this is strictly for storylines and fun, and selfishly for travel. Edmonton, Toronto.
Oh, I would be really intrigued by that one. I'm going to stick with Edmonton as well. Just, from what we've seen the last few years, I'm saying 3 straight years. Oilers, Panthers. I know the Panthers got some injuries to deal with, but I think they'll make it work. I'm a really big believer in that management staff as well. So I think they're going to make some moves. So Panthers, Oilers, 3 straight years. Maybe the casual hockey fan hates it. Question number 3 for you. Justin Rankin's got the new deal. So in honor of that, give me your top 3 Elks or Eskimos running backs of all time.
Go ahead.
Trying to do the guys that I saw. John Avery, who had, I think it was just the one big year. Then he went to the NFL. I will say Mike Pringle. And again, didn't get a chance to watch too much of the 80s, 70s, those types of eras. But I thought CJ Gable was a heck of a player for this team for a few years as well. So Avery, Gable, and Pringle.
Oh, yeah. John Avery had a great year for sure. Still, you talk to his teammates. It's not a lot of them forgave him for claiming he was healthy in Grey Cup in 2002, and then leaving early on, and that forced him to take Winston October off the roster. Then they basically lost that Grey Cup championship on field position. Could October have had a better return? Probably. I'm going all time, and I'm going to say Jim Germany, Johnny Bright, and in no particular order, because Johnny Bright might be number 1. And I'm going to go just for fun. I'm going, remember Blake Marshall? And he was just like a running back / power back. Just ran over everybody. It was unreal. And I am going to, like, for a guy who had maybe the most exciting season I ever watched was Reggie Taylor. When he had 1,500 rushing yards, man, he was phenomenal that year for the Green.
Yeah. For a guy who just ran people over, I always like Jerome Messam as well. He was only 1 year in Edmonton, and then he kind of traveled, but he was fun to watch as well. Question number 4 for you. Got Jays Yankees game number 3. What's happening tonight?
Oh, sweep-a-rama, baby. Bring out the brooms. I think the Jays are focused. They don't want to give the Yankees any sort of life. So I'm going to say sweep tonight.
Who am I to disagree with you, Gregor? We've got to will it into existence. The Jays playing some great ball. The bats are going, and let's just hope it continues. Jays get it done. I'll say 7-4 in this one. Final question for you today. It's International Taco Day. So to you, what makes the perfect taco?
Ooh, I like soft taco better than I like hard taco. So I'll start with the soft taco. I like a little sour cream. Sometimes I like to put the sour cream on the soft taco first, right? Spread it around. It's not going to fall over. So you get equal flavor of in every bite. I'll go with, now see, here's where it's tough. I'm actually going to go with pork in my taco. It's fantastic. Little pulled pork in the taco. Obviously I got some grated cheddar cheese. So I like to have the meat a little bit hot so it kind of melts into it. Lettuce, avocado.
It's a good taco. I like you. I would go soft taco. My in-laws, like they go pretty fun with the whole like setup for tacos. So I'm going to take beef to start off with. Maybe a little bit of the hot sauce. I can't handle too much, but just a little bit. Cheese, lettuce, peppers, bell peppers, any color, good for me. Sprinkle a little green onion on top, and they'll have cucumbers out when they do tacos. So a little cucumbers kind of freshens it up.
Cucumbers,
yeah,
man. I love them.
It's something I didn't know I liked until I liked it. So yeah, that would be the one for me.
Well, it's the old thing. We don't know what we don't know.
It's true.
So that's why it's always good to open up to new things. I like it. Now I'm hungry, man. I want a taco. It's Taco Tuesday. Oof, get to OTR. They got some great ones there. And I always got a lot of cool flavor. They had the donair taco that I had at OTR. Very good. Very, very good. 4:55. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Sports 1440. Coming up, we will have Mark Spector. We got DVD. We got lots more wall-to-wall hockey and baseball coverage here, the final hour of the show. As we get to the Con Man and the Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca Quality Markets. Dinner is solved in minutes. Loca's gourmet meals are made fresh, never boring, and always chef-inspired. 2 locations, Sherwood Park and on the West End on 142nd Street. Shop now, loca.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
The Edmonton Oilers have recalled forward Ike Howard from the Bakersfield Condors in a corresponding move. They did loan forward James Hamlin to Baco. They'll kick off their season tomorrow night just after 8 o'clock down at Rogers Place, hosting the Calgary Flames. 3 games scheduled today, 1 underway after 40 minutes. Panthers and Blackhawks tied at 2 apiece. Coming up at 6, you got the Rangers hosting the Penguins, and at 8:30, Avs in Los Angeles to take on the Kings. Major League Baseball playoffs. Jays in New York, they're taking on the Yankees just after 6 o'clock. They lead that series 2-0. Van Bieber gets the call for the Bluebirds. We do have a scheduled start time now for the Tigers and Mariners. They've been delayed for a couple hours. They're set to get going in 5 minutes as they've got some rain delay issues in Detroit. That series tied at a game apiece. And some news from the NFL. The LA Chargers acquiring linebacker Odafe Owe from the Baltimore Ravens, along with a 7th-round pick for safety Alohi Gilman and a 5th-round selection. The Cincinnati Bengals bringing in veteran quarterback Joe Flacco and a 6th-round pick from Cleveland for a 5th-round selection. And Odell Beckham Jr. has accepted a 6-game suspension for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs. The receiver, who is a free agent, said he failed a PED test last season while he was a member of the Miami Dolphins. Coming up in Hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Derek Van Diest from NHL.com. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air.
You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza.
Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is sounding the call. Don't struggle through winter with a furnace you can't trust. For maintenance before winter strikes, call Legacy. Call Legacy. For furnace tune-ups and repairs to give peace of mind. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or to scrap your old furnace for a brand new high-efficiency one. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your new furnace, it's gotta be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Game day sauce. Buddy, quit rolling up to the bar looking like it's grade 9 grad and you're wearing your dad's old work suit. Do yourself a favor and call Game Day Suits.
Game Day Suits is Alberta-based and makes fully customizable, made-to-order suits. Perfect for hockey teams, wedding parties, or even the office crew. Book your free consultation at GameDaySuits.ca.
I'm rocking one right now. I look deadly.
You know they can't see you, right?
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you want to go, tough guy?
Game Day Suits!
At Wendy's, $4 gets you more than just a burger. It gets you a Dave's Single, made with a quarter pound of fresh, never frozen Canadian beef. All for just $4 at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra. But hurry, this deal ends October 26th.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. It's Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular price pizza when you use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, it started a little late, but finally that Detroit-Seattle game, the rain delay is done, and they're going to start playing some ball. That game was supposed to start 3 hours ago. It's pretty much supposed to be done right now, but delay. So if you're a big baseball fan, you'll probably being able to channel surf both the Tigers and the Mariners, and then, of course, the Yankees and the Blue Jays set for first pitch in exactly 1 hour and 6 minutes time. Welcome back. It is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram for Sports 1440, as well as Oilers Nation. So thank you very much for being part of the show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game all day, any day. Use the promo code Gregor50. You make a $50 deposit, and they will match it. So you get 2 for 1. And did you know that Leon Draisaitl is now a spokesperson for PlayAlberta.ca? So he's teamed it up, and we'll see what they've got cooking for the Art Ross. He's up for, obviously, the Rocket as well, and there'll be lots of different prop bets for the Battle of Alberta games. You can check it out at PlayAlberta.ca as the NHL is officially underway, and we have a tie heading into the third period. Also, the NHL is on pace, because everybody loves doing this. They're on pace for 1,312 fights this season, as Foligno and Greer had the first tilt of the season. Frank Nazar scored the first goal of the season. Then the Panthers replied with two of their own before Tara Vinen tied the game. And we have our first 2-point Tara Vinen and Bertuzzi and Nazar. All three of them, the line, they've all got 2 points if you got them in your fantasy draft for the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, let's get to the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And right now, hey, they're always looking for great people. If that's you, you should check it out. Go to gsconstruction.ca, look under careers, and you'll see all the opportunities to work for a fantastic company over 50 years. Homegrown, they're lots of fun, and they love promoting from within. That's GS Construction, as we are joined by Mark Rogers. Sportsnet Spec, good afternoon on a Tuesday. How you doing, my man?
Well, a pretty busy day down at the rink today. Holy cow, lots of media down there today. There must have been like 3 different CBC microphones in that scrum. I'm not sure what's happening there.
There was quite a few, and lots of people in town. Obviously, the McDavid contract gets people coming out of the woodwork to talk about that. And the orders, we know what the roster is going to be for opening game. Jake Wallman's not going to play tomorrow night. Janmark's not going to play. Hyman's not going to play. Curtis Lazar is going to be the healthy scratch. Looks like Troy Stetcher on the back end will be out. Emberson with Kulak, Nurse with Regula, Bouchard and Ekholm, and then McDavid, Draisaitl, Frederick. You got Nugent Hopkins, Mangiapane, Savoy. There's the interesting third line for me, Spec. Philp with Kapanen and Podkolzin. And then Henrique is going to be Henrique's playing his 994th NHL game tomorrow night, Spec. And his line mates are each going to be playing their first in Howard and David Tomasic.
Yeah, there you go. That's because that's something, eh? I mean, Henrique's he'll hit 1,000 games here right away.
Yeah, this month, yeah.
Yeah, this month. Hey, you know what? Let's see what happens. I think I've referenced this a lot of times here, and I think it's healthy. There's a bit of a spirit of change. It's not an Oilers team just going at it with the same group again. I know they're forced into this by some injuries, but maybe that's good karma. You know, maybe that's having some fresh faces in this thing and some different lines and some mixed up pairings. Regula gets in. Can't be bad, Jay. I think it can't be a bad thing at all.
Beck, anything McDavid or Draisaitl say today that caught your attention?
Not as much Draisaitl. I thought McDavid didn't shy away from the fact that, it does feel like you and I both don't agree with this. I wrote this today. It's crazy to say the Oilers have to now get competitive. They've obviously been competitive. Everybody knows that. But it does feel like they're on the clock here a little bit, right? There does feel like these next 2 or 3 seasons, they're on the clock. If they're going to keep McDavid, they're going to have to win cups. I don't see him not winning a cup in the next 3 years and signing here. And I think everybody feels the same way. So as much pressure as there's been in this town and as much expectation to win and win it all, I guess it's raised up a little, if anything. And I mentioned that to Connor McDavid today. If there's a little heightened bit of urgency in the town. And his answer was, if that's a sort of a residual, if that's a spin-off of this thing, then all the better.
Yeah, when I hear, TikTok, the clock's ticking, I'm like, well, how's it any different than the last 2 years? McDavid didn't have a contract. He could have left after, like, if they didn't make the cup last year or the year before, how isn't any more pressure? Like the pressure on the organization's been there for the last many years. They want to win.
No.
Peter, how's it any difference, Beck? He could have left. He only had 2 years left in his contract. Now he has 3.
He wasn't leaving, though. Nobody thought for a second that Connor McDavid was going to leave when this contract was up. Now, it turns out, he said today that was on the table, but he didn't leave because I don't think he was ever going to leave at the end of this contract. This contract, Jason, he will leave at the end of it, I would say to you. I would firmly believe that if it doesn't go well the next 3 years, I think he will leave. So I think it is a heightened urgency, and I think the clock is ticking more than it ticked before.
Yeah. Well, we'll agree to disagree on it. To me, the clock was ticking. And McDavid even said there was no guarantee. Everybody assumed it. right? And so now they're just making a different assumption. But in both cases, it's all assumptions. Oh, he was never leaving. Well, McDavid just said it was on the table. And now it's like, well, he's going to leave for sure. Again, it's an assumption. No one truly knows until it gets to that space. Like, we'll see. Like, here's the thing. 2 years ago, you look at how different this roster was for the Edmonton Oilers. Like, in 3 years, how different will it be again?
It'll be totally different.
Like, their core guys will be the same, but they'll have lots of different guys around, and who knows, like maybe Savoy and Howard will have really stepped up, and McDavid's like, man, we got a really good team now. We got some young guys in here. This is fantastic. Like, who knows? People worrying about 3 years down the road, I don't understand it. I think it's lazy, to be honest, because so much can change in 3 years. I don't know what's going to happen in 3 years of my life. Why the hell would I start? Well, geez, you know what? I better do this now because in 3 years something's going to happen. Like, I get tired of looking too far down the road. The Oilers are a very good team right now. They're going to compete for the cup. And to me, what moves is Stan Bowman going to make? I think this gives them more. They got 3 years. 3 years is a lifetime in sports. It really is when you think about how much can change in a 3 year span.
Well, for sure. And all those things you say are true. The team will change every year. It's changed this year. Nothing stays the same in sports. But I'll tell you what, there is definitely a feeling when your superstar player takes less money and signs a 2-year deal, that there is something more finite coming down the road than what we just saw. There is just absolutely, I feel in all my experience covering sports, I'm not an emotional guy when it comes to the Oilers, but I think it's pretty clear that Connor McDavid has set the table. He's signing probably a long-term deal somewhere when this thing's done. And if they don't win here, I suspect it won't be Edmonton. Jason?
Yeah, I guess I would disagree. Why would he, if he leaves, why the hell would he sign a long-term deal somewhere else and limit his chances? He could then chase cups and go 2 years somewhere else, 2 years somewhere else. Like a long-term deal, if he doesn't win in Edmonton, I think is even less likely anywhere. I think if he leaves, he would do it on a short-term deal because you can go somewhere else. You don't know. You hope it's better, but you don't know it's any better. And you probably don't have any guaranteed odds that you would enter this season with a better chance to win than what you have the last few years in Edmonton.
But if he goes on the market, he probably he could sign a 6-year, by then, 6-year, $25 million contract.
Yeah, but couldn't he sign a 2-year deal at $25 million and then in the next 2 years sign it again?
There's a reason guys sign for 7 though, Jay, right? At some point, even the great Connor McDavid may choose security. Hey, listen, now we're getting off track. I don't know who he signs with. I don't know how long he signs for. I'm just here to tell you, it feels a lot more serious that if they don't win cups, they don't keep McDavid today than
you think it has to be multiple?
What's that?
Yes,
cups, whatever. They got to win. They got to win a cup. Start with one.
Yeah.
Start
with
one.
But here's the thing. What if they win a cup? I don't think that guarantees he stays either.
There's no guarantees in life, right? There's no guarantees.
Yeah.
No guarantees, Jay. If they win a cup this year and get real old and lousy in 2 years, if I'm him, I'm leaving too. But you don't win, and I think we know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, like the good news for the Oilers spec is like when people talk about Edmonton getting old, I'm like, well, who's really getting old? Like Connor McDavid at 31 in today's sporting era, 31 isn't old anymore. Crosby's had 100 points at 36 on crappy teams, by the way, right? I think that, the Oilers, the guys that are getting older are guys who don't even have like bad contracts. To be honest, they're not difficult contracts. Like Nugent Hopkins at $5 million. If he's your third line center, a $5 million third line center is the going rate, right? Like that's the going rate. Zach Hyman, his contract's up when McDavid's contract is up. Now he'll be by then 36. So sure, but by then you hope like you'll have found someone. Maybe it's Howard, maybe it's Savoy, maybe it's someone else. But I actually don't think Edmonton's like aging guys. Ekholm will probably sign a 1 or 2 year extension, and he'll be gone. But Bouchard is like Evan Bouchard's 25 in 3 years is only 28. He's still in his prime, and he's going to be their best defenseman.
Yeah, my Nurse is only 30. So that's not old in today's world. Athletes are in such better shape today than they used to be. That's not really old. And I agree. Hyman, what's Hyman make? 5.5?
Yeah.
What if Hyman sinks down to be your second line right winger or even your third line right winger? In 3 years, 5.5, that's what wingers make. So third line wingers are going to make when the cap's up at 120 or whatever it's going to be in 3 years, right? So No, those aren't bad contracts, but nonetheless, you then have to replace those guys with legitimate. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, Jay, Hyman and Nugent Hopkins are legitimate first-line wingers. Let's just say that. Hyman is for sure. We could debate Nuge, but let's say he is.
I can tell you Nuge isn't 100%. I think
we're having it for the sake of the conversation. My point is he plays on your first line, and you got to find 2 first-line guys to replace them that are as good as they are. That's where when you're drafting 30th and trading away your picks, that's where the difficulty comes, and that's what Stan Bowman gets paid to figure out.
Yeah, well, how'd they get Hyman? Free agency. Right. And when you got McDavid and Draisaitl the next few summers, trust me, players will still be lining up to want to come to Edmonton. And Nuge, I think, like Chris Knobloch's already said it, Spec. Nugent Hopkins is going to play center the majority of the time this year. So when the big dogs are together, he'll be their second line center, and the other time is going to be their third line center. I think he really wants him at center. And I think Nugent Hopkins is better as a center iceman. And so the transition is already there. So, we'll see. Of the new faces, Spec, and like, look at this. Mangiapane's new, Savoy's new, Howard's new, Tomasek is new. Trent Frederick starting the regular season is new. Like, they got a lot of new guys up front. Who are you most confident in will have a good offensive season?
Ooh, well, who am I most confident in? Let me change your question. Who am I have the greatest expectation of? How about that? Look, I'm not looking at Howard and Savoy and saying you guys better produce. They're young kids. They're going to find their way. I'm excited to watch that process, but it's a process. They're not walking in and changing hockey here. They're just going to try to become NHL players. You got Frederick, who's 27, right? And you got Mangiapane, who is, 28, 29?
Yeah.
Not mistaken. Those 2 guys are NHL veterans, and they got to help now. They're not wading in. They're not coming in and trying to find their way and all that stuff. I'll be very interested to see how Trent Frederick, he was never a top line player on Boston, but he never played with Draisaitl and McDavid either. And Mangiapane is coming off a lousy year in Washington, and he needs to get back to being that guy in Calgary who was, let's say he needs to get back to being a 20-goal, 45, 50-point player. Those are the 2 guys that they're counting on production from those 2 players. They both need to produce and have good years. I'll be watching them with a level of expectation a lot higher than a Savoy and a Howard and a Tomasek.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. What about on the back end? The Oilers got a pretty good back end. I know Wallman's not going to be ready to start tonight. He thinks maybe by Saturday, which probably leads me to believe he won't be ready for game 2, but we'll see. But their defense should really be a super strength of this team.
Yep. It's good. It is a good defense. Like it's just solid. It's really experienced. It's got mobile guys on every pair. I mean, obviously Bouchard and Ekholm are good puck movers. Nurse skates the puck exceptionally well. Wallman moves it well. He passes the puck well, shoots it great. Kulak's got great foot speed and moves the puck. Let's see what his partner, who it's going to be and how it's going to work. But their depth on defense is excellent. Their experience on defense, they've got a bunch of guys that have played in 2 Stanley Cups in a row and a whole bunch of playoff series. I don't know. When's the last time, Jay, you and I talked before the start of a season and said probably the money area, this team, the best area that you could count on that you think is for sure going to deliver is going to be their blue line. I can't remember it being like that very often.
No, and it's pretty deep and it's good. And they found a guy on the waiver wire, Spec, who's looking like he's getting better all the time, and Alec Regula. And that's like, if all of a sudden Regula becomes a regular on your blue line and you claim him off waivers for nothing, that's a massive other scouting move by the organization. You got to tip your hand to. Now, Bowman knew him, of course, because he had him in Chicago. And you know what? Good guys never forget players that they like. And that's a massive one. Like, look at Kapanen. If Kapanen becomes a regular in your lineup, another guy that you got off the waiver wire, like those are massive additions to your team for nothing.
I mean, listen, give Bowman credit on Kapanen because he ended up with Kapanen when Kapanen got his act together and became a better player. They thought he would in St. Louis. They thought he would in Pittsburgh. They thought he would in Toronto. He didn't. So good for Bowman. Like, take the credit. But to me, the credit goes to Kapanen for giving his head a shake and saying the next team that's going to pick me up on the waivers is going to be like Turku or Jokerit. So good for him. He put it together in Edmonton. I always talk about that crossroads when you get a player at the right time. They got him at the right time. And Regula, let's see. Everyone's happy about Regula. I've talked to the kid. He's a great story. Like, he came here with a knee injury that was worse than the Oilers even thought. He sat the whole year. He rehabbed. He who knew what was going to happen? Now let's see. We've seen a lot of guys have good training camps. The season's going to start for real. Let's see how it goes for him. I hope it goes well. But I've got to come from Missouri a little bit on this. Regula coming off a year on the DL and walking in and helping you. If he can, it'd be a good story, but it's not a story I've written many of over the years.
Another story that people probably weren't writing, the Toronto Blue Jays through 2 games have more home runs than they have strikeouts in that series against the New York Yankees. Like, think about that.
What a great stat.
Yeah. And so, like, obviously their offense is rolling. Their starting pitching has given 2 phenomenal performances thus far. You got Bieber tonight against Rodon. Do the brooms come out in New York City?
I don't know. Like, if they continue to get hitting from everybody like this, then yes, the brooms will come out. Like, they're it's kind of like Milwaukee's the same way right now. Everyone up and down their lineups hitting. It's just that the Cubs can't handle them. And in the first 2 games, the Yankees pitching staff, they just couldn't handle it. You get one guy out, you think, okay, man, we got through the meat of the order, and the back end of the order crushes you. And some guy like Ernie Clement hits a home run. So listen, you don't go like this forever, but I'll tell you what, when you're going like this, you got to do everything you can to keep it going. The Jays are going hot. If they stay this hot, the Yankees ain't going to beat them. That's for sure. And I don't think either Detroit or Seattle is either.
Yeah, well, the Jays look pretty good right now, and hey, they're doing it without Bo Bichette, so there's no rush to have to bring him back either, which makes it a little bit even more impressive.
Yeah, the minute he's healthy, he's in my lineup. But
God, yeah. Like, even if he just is a DH, right? Because he can hit, like, he can really hit.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
This
is what championship teams get in every sport. Like, we watch hockey. Look at Florida last year. Their third line had this unbelievable, were they plus 30 or plus 28 or whatever it was. This is how you win, is you get it from everyone in your lineup, top to bottom. And that's what they're getting. They got some rookie pitcher all of a sudden. Nobody can touch you, Savage. They're getting hits from all these guys like Lucas and all these people you didn't expect it from. This is how you win. It's the recipe. And right now, the Blue Jays have the recipe.
Spec, I might call you Spectre Spec as you walk around with your clock that ticks for the next
clicks.
Yeah.
It's ticking, baby. It's ticking.
All right, Spectre Spec. Yeah, the white Flavor Flav. That's what I'll call you. Have yourself a good one, buddy. Enjoy the games, hockey, baseball tonight. It's a great night to have the remote control and maybe multiple TVs going. So,
oh boy, I'll see you at the skate tomorrow morning, buddy.
You betcha. There's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Constructor. Yeah, that's right, Spectre Spec. That's what we're going to call him from now on. Maybe I'll get him one of those clocks and just wear it around, because a lot of people think TikTok. I know it's a big app. I'm not sure Spec's ever been on it. I never have either, but. Maybe someone out there could why doesn't somebody make me a TikTok about Spectre Spec and send it to me? I'd very much appreciate it. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. DVD joins us next. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca.
Monopoly Double Play is back at McDonald's. So let's practice winning. You just won 25 grand. And go.
Yes!
I said 25 grand.
Talking about, yeah.
Much better. Okay, now you just won a brand new Chevrolet Corvette. I think she just fainted. Impressive. Feel like a winner on pack and in app. Monopoly Double Play is back. While supplies last, 1 in 5 chances to win game piece prizes at outset. Chances to win draw prizes depend on number of entries in each draw. Cash prizes payable by e-transfer. See rules in app.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
It's Midnight Madness at the Brick. Stores close Friday to lower prices, then reopen at 5 p.m. with incredible 7-hour deals. The first 10 customers get $50 to spend on anything in store. Score free local delivery when you spend $4.99 or more. Plus, buy any TV or appliance, get a $50 credit to spend on furniture, decor, or mattresses. And take 5 years to pay with 0 interest on your Flexity card OAC. Terms and conditions apply. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Think your credit's not good enough for a new ride? Think again. Go Auto's car loan calculator is here to help. No commitments, no credit hits, just real answers. You tell us a few things, and we'll show you what you can afford. Text credit to 780-777-7777. That's credit to 780 all sevens. Go Auto. We do the math, so you can do the driving.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Next, welcome back. Rolling through a lovely Monday afternoon. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. Declan Kruger also along for the ride this afternoon. Detroit and Seattle, they're now into the second inning after a lengthy rain delay. A game was supposed to start at 2:08 our time. First pitch was 3 hours late. The Yankees and the Blue Jays scheduled. Shouldn't be an issue. Weather looks great as they will have game 3. First pitch at 6:08. Tonight, we could have, depending on what goes on, but 12 minutes left, which is still a lot of time. But overtime, first game, please no. Please no, I don't need overtime in the first NHL game of the season. Rangers and Penguins will be the second, and then the Kings and the Avs will be the third. If you missed it, Justin Rankin has signed a 2-year extension with the green and gold. So, hey, day after the Oilers got their best guy signed, the Elks get their best guy signed to a 2-year extension. So that's good news for them as they want to keep building. They got a game on Saturday. Are you doing the doubleheader? You got the Elks at 5 and then the Oilers at 8. Weather looks good. You could do the double dip. Should be fun. Why not? I know some of you are going to do it. It's great. I remember doing that a few times. It's awesome. If you're a sports fan, it's absolutely awesome. Now, let's talk some more hockey as we welcome to the show Derek Van Diest from NHL.com, our regular Tuesday contributor. DVD, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today? Busy day down at the rink.
Yeah. Do you are you in the Flavor Flav camp? Are you walking around with a clock that's ticking for the next 3 years, DVD?
No, not really. Congrats, McDavid. No, because lot can happen in 3 years. So
exactly,
he may leave in if they win the Stanley Cup.
That's
right?
what I
If
was
he wins 2 cups, and he's like, okay, I'm done here, and I'm going to go get my payday. So I don't think, so much can happen. Even Gion Draisaitl said today, and we could win the cup. Like, what if he wins the cup next year? And then he says, okay, well, I won my cup, and then I'll try to win 2 and 3, I guess. And then he walks away after winning the cup. So I don't think there's any guarantee that he stays, or maybe he likes it here and decides he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be like Sidney Crosby and play his entire career in one place. So there's just so many things, factors in mind. I think the fact that he just signed for another 2 years, and now you have McDavid for 3 years, and in total that would make it 13 years of Connor McDavid era. That's pretty good. It's better. That was longer than the Gretzky era. So, right. So I think it's pretty good that you had this player here for that long. And yeah, who knows what could happen. I don't think there's a guarantee he stays if they win. I think he might leave if they win. Okay, like I accomplished my goal. Now I'm going to go in for a new challenge, as they say. So, yeah, if he wins, he could stay. If they don't win, he could like, if he wins, he could leave. If he don't win, he could leave. You know what they say, Jason, do not stress yourself over things you have no control over. There's enough stresses in life that you don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It's one, like, to me, people should be celebrating in Edmonton. Like, that's a massive win. You got him for a few extra. You got 3 years now for sure to watch McDavid, because he ain't getting traded mid-season. Like, I know people are always talking about that. Oh, they got 1 year, then they're going to have to trade him. What are you talking about? Have to trade him. And oh, by the way, he has a no movement clause. He's going to control if he gets traded anyway. So
yeah,
to me, it's a big deal for a team that's clearly one of the best teams in the NHL. If you don't think Edmonton's one of the best teams in the NHL, you're not paying attention. Like, all the results are right there, and then it's just a matter of can they finally get that final step, which is obviously difficult to do, and you need a lot of luck and you need a lot of health and yada yada yada. But the orders, to me, the storyline isn't really McDavid. Like, that's great that he signed, but the bigger story to me is how some of these new guys are going to contribute early on this season.
Yeah, I think that is a big story. And I think just having new guys here, having some rookies, having some fresh blood, I think it really kind of revitalizes the group. Like, everyone's talked about having some of the new guys here, some fresh faces. And the Oilers were the oldest team in the league last year, a very veteran-savvy team. And people talked about, maybe they lost a step here or there. Maybe having some of these new guys, they'll gain that step back. But I think, Matt Savoy's had a really good camp. I like him. I'm interested to see him how he stands out in the regular season. And you have to be careful, because we've had guys here before that have had really, really good preseasons, and then you get into the regular season and they disappear. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Savoy, but you have to really temper what you saw in the preseason, because it could happen where just the regular season is a different animal. The guys are actually playing, they're trying hard, the game increases, the level is faster, you have less time, less space. So you have to kind of get used to that. Coward, be interested to see how they utilize him. I still think he needs some just professional development. He has to play pros for a little while, understand how it works in the pro game, playing every other day, practicing every day. It's such a grind. It's not like college where you go to the gym, then you have a practice, and then you don't ever worry about playing until the weekend and things like that. It's just a completely different animal that I think he's going to have to get used to. I wish him the best of luck, but there's nothing wrong with going down to the American Hockey League and learning your trade. And I think a lot of really good players have done that and have come out of that league and been better for it. So I don't think he has a guaranteed spot here in Edmonton, but we'll see what he does in his first few games. We'll see how Matt Savoy does. We'll see some of the other new guys, Tomasek and those guys. Curtis Lazar, can he help out this team? So there are a lot of interesting storylines going into the season here. Mangiapane, will he find that chemistry on the top line or second line wherever he's playing? So I think there's a lot of questions going in, and it's funny just talking. You're in that room too every day, Jason. Talking to those guys, it's a lot different feel than it was last year. Last year there were a lot of lower lips dragging on the ground there, feeling woe is us. We came so close, and it took them a long time to get over that. I don't get that sense this year. I get the sense that, hey, we're kind of focused this year. We want to get off to a good start. They've turned the page on last season, and I think it's a little different attitude going into this season than maybe last season, where I think everyone was. I can't just say the players. I think the fans were. everyone was kind of lamenting, man, wow, they came so close. And then you still think about it 2 months later, and it kind of affects your work. And I think that's what happened. And they finally kind of were able to turn the season around. But I expect them to get off to a really good start this year.
Well, they want to, no question about it. The last 2 years it started brutal, but they did. They got spanked in their opener and then went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. So although the odds the last 2 years, and I looked it up, teams who win their opening game of the season. I know it's only one game in an 82-game season, but teams who win their opening game of the regular season the last 2 years. So that's 32 teams, right? Because there's 16. Or sorry, there's each 16. Year you can only have 32 teams who win on opening night, right? Because you're playing everybody, and there's 32 losers in their first games usually. And it's pretty clear that even if you win your first game of the season, those teams out of the 32, 21 of them made the playoffs, and only 11 losers over the 2 years. So it's like 10-6 and 11-5, just winning your opening game. And Edmonton obviously was the minority teams both times. So it's still, a good start does matter for lots of teams.
Yeah, it sets the tone, right? It sets the tone for the year. If you get off to a good game, you don't want to be playing from behind. And I think, the Oilers, I can't remember last time they got off to like a really wicked start, like a 9-1 start, or like 11 start. Yeah. So they got to kind of try and get back to that and get out of the gates quickly and really establish themselves. And I think that's what they want to do. They want to establish themselves as the best team in the Pacific. I think they have. What I really like about this team is I like the continuity on the back end. I really think, and even Chris Knobloch said today, we think we have one of the best blue lines in the league, if not the best blue line in the league. So I think that's really, really going to help. And then, as guys find their way, you still have that top line. They're going to score a lot of goals, but with a good defense, and hopefully that helps your goaltending. They're going to keep the puck out of their net. So I think that's going to help the Edmonton Oilers a lot. They don't have to run and gun. They haven't had to run and gun for a couple of years now, but they don't have to do it now because they have pretty solidified defense.
Derek Van Diest joins us, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. DVD, what is your expectation? Do the Oilers end their drought? Do they finally win a regular season division title, or are they more so focused on just being ready and healthy for the playoffs?
No, I think they win the title. I really do. I think that's important to them. I think it's important to them to kind of, even though home ice advantage wasn't a big deal last year, and then when they did get it, they lost that series. I still think that they want to play with home ice advantage. I still think they want to go into series being the favorite. I think that's a goal for them. And you look at this team, and it's about setting goals. And I think that is a big goal for them. They want to win the division. It's been a long time since they've won the division, and they want to be the best team in the Pacific. And, they say with that comes maybe, the best team in the Western Conference. And I think that's what the Edmonton Oilers want to show. They want to, for once, not struggle and kind of, stumble their way through the regular season and then, have to go on a heater or have to go on a big win streak to kind of turn things around and then get into the playoffs. And then you're playing from, you don't have home ice advantage in the playoffs. So I think they want to play from a position of advantage this year. And then when you're talking about a team trying to get back to the Stanley Cup final, you have to set those goals. And I think that's a big goal for them. I think they do want to win the Pacific. I think they do want to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. So when they go into the postseason, people are like, yeah, this is the team you have to watch in the playoffs and expect to get back to the final, not surprise anyone by getting back there.
DVD, how closely are you watching the Jays?
Very closely. Is first pitch at 5:30 or is it already? I just got back from the
first pitch is until 6:08. So you got
time. Okay. They got some time then, yeah. So no, very closely. So it was very fun watching them kick the crap out of the Yankees. It's it was those first two games are fun, but yeah, playing in the Bronx is gonna be a different. I've been there. I've been in that stadium. It's a different vibe altogether. Like it's loud and it's fun and it's a great atmosphere in Toronto, but it is just a really intimidating atmosphere playing in the Bronx. It's totally different, the fan base there. I've been there and you're like, wow, this is different level. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Jays handle things and if they can keep the bats going. They're playing defensively great and they get some great pitching performances. So they can jump out to a big lead. Yeah, it'll be over. but the longer the Yankees hanging around, you know, they think they still have life. They believe they're still a good team. I'm not convinced that they're a great team. I think they make too many errors in the field, too many bad plays. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Well, you know what? The Jays, I love my favorite stat is the Jays have more home runs than strikeouts in the series thus far. That is, you know what? And they're a team that didn't strike out all season long, right? Like they can work the count. They got patience. They got some guys like Ernie Clement, you know, one of the best first ball hitters in baseball overall. So, you know, and so really Shane Bieber can slow down the bats, which is hard to do because the Yankees, you know, nobody hit more home runs than the Yankees all season long. And through 2 games, the Jays pitchers have done a very good job. Now, Shane Bieber, there's one thing we've seen at times is early in games, he'll give up a home run or 2. And that to me is, I think, the key that he has to avoid tonight for the Jays to get the brooms out and sweep the Yankees.
Yeah, he's got to settle in. Like, yeah, you're right. He's a guy that, you know, once he gets up a run and he settles in and I think you're good from there. I think that Yankees lineup, it's a pretty good lineup, but they're just right now, they're just not getting the timely hits. And the Jays, it's tough to pitch around anyone in that lineup because you have so many good guys following you. So you can't pitch around Vladdy. You can't pitch around, you know, some of those other guys. And I think that's the situation that the Yankees find themselves in. And then, you know, their best pitcher got rocked. So that's something to get, you know, to try and get over going back to New York today.
Yeah. DVD, I know you covered the WHL for a long time and you loved it. If there's a storyline I'm watching this year in the NHL, it's the Detroit Red Wings and young Emmett Finney, who's a 20-year-old. Emmett Finney was a 7th round, 201st pick overall, the Red Wings back in 2023. He then, you know, he spent that year, he went back to Kamloops, played there, had, you know, 19 goals, 59 points, not bad. Then the next year is in Kamloops. He played 55 games, had 37 goals, 84 points. Right now, he's made the Red Wings out of training camp. His first year eligible because he's 20, right? Obviously, he couldn't play in the NHL last year. He's a 20-year-old. And not only has he made their team, looks like he's going to start on their top line with Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. I don't know how long it lasts, but it is an unreal story to watch for a WHL guy, a 7th rounder who his first year of pro is starting on the Detroit Red Wings top line.
No, for sure. I wrote about Finney today. Actually, I got a story up on WHL.com. They asked me to do a story of opening night surprise roster players that are surprised on the roster, and Finney was on that roster. Detroit's starting actually the season with 3 rookies on their roster. And you remember for the longest time, a rookie, I think Dylan Larkin was the first rookie to play with Detroit for a long time because Ken Holland were there. Like they made you kind of sit in the minors and sit in the minors and play the minors before they called you up. So rookies in Detroit were hard to come by. And this year they're starting with 3. So we'll see what happens. You know, Finney, I expect him to get his 9-game look, and then obviously they'll make a decision there. They're going to give him an opportunity.
He's 20. He can.
He's 20. I guess he's 20. Sorry. Yeah. So he can go down. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, 3 rookies in Detroit. That's something that jumped out at me when I was going through the rosters yesterday. Spent a lot of time last night just going through the rosters, and yeah, I saw that Emmett Finney had made the team. I was pretty excited. So it's excited to see those Western League guys kind of make that jump and play well and then go from there. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. But yeah, I do have a piece up on NHL.com. If you guys want to look at it, it's about some of the surprises on the roster this year. Some of the younger guys that are rosters that maybe you didn't think had a chance to make the roster and ended up finding the opening day roster.
DVD, enjoy the games, man. We'll see you at the rink tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you down there.
There you go. That's Derek Van Diest. Joins us every Tuesday on Sports 1440. We'll come back. We'll hear more from Chris Knobloch, as well as maybe some more from Connor McDavid if you missed it earlier. He's talking about his new contract and more. It's the Jason Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And we'll take your text, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 in our email inbox.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
you've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
For supplements verified clean and non-GMO, look for the Ishura symbol at Vitality Health Foods on products like Regenerlife NMN Surge, a healthy aging product used to rejuvenate cellular health. Shop with confidence at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Stradling. How would you like to join me and the superstars of hockey on an exotic holiday? Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters, you can attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Fernando Pisani, Kelly Buckberger, Ron Lowe, Gene Principe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. There's still time to get in on every hockey fan's dream cruise. Book now and save $500 per couple. The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. Price started at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton. Call 1-833-347-7678. Call now to book and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours, 1-833-347-7678.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Through, ready to wrap things up on a Tuesday afternoon. Of course, Jays and Yankees coming up after the top of the hour. You got a triple header in the National Hockey League, and the two-time defending champions do have a lead late in the third period now, 3-2, as Jesper Boquist has scored his first, and young Samaskovich. Good start for him. He's got 2 apples in his first game of the season for the Panthers. They are taking on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. Most people had the Panthers winning that game, I would think. We got a lot of text to get to wrap up the show. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, I'm not sure this is being discussed. I'm just getting in the car and beyond frustrated with the NHL and the Department of Panthers safety. Gong show the game between Florida and Tampa went both ways, including Verhaeghe leaving his feet and getting a 5-minute major. Tampa, the coach, and multiple players get spanked by the league, and Florida gets treated like the favorite child who can do no wrong. It's embarrassing in a pro sport league. How many goalies did Bennett concuss last playoffs? Media says nothing, no fuss, nothing will change. DB, I love the passion. Well, here's a few things. Verhaeghe got 5 in a game, and that's the going rate for hits from behind. That's what the NHL, I've been saying this for years. The NHL does not crack down on hits from behind. I think it's deplorable. I don't like it, but that's what they do, right? Sabourin grabbed the guy, and now Sabourin got suspended 4 games. He's not even in the NHL, right? He's in the minors, so that's one I always say. The NHL loves to at times flex their muscles and against guys that have no relevancy in their league. And it's not a knock on Sabourin, but he's a minor league player, and he's got a 4-game suspension, so basically limits his chances. I think they suspend him for 4 games. You know why? Because now Tampa can't call him up for a rematch against Florida, unless they call him up 5 games prior and they just have him sit in the press box for 4 games, right? That's what they're doing. So there's that one. So there's basically Moser. I don't really understand what Tampa Bay must have done something that I didn't see to get a $100,000 fine that they got and their coach. So, whatever. But Verhaeghe, honestly, he was never getting suspended. Just hits from behind. Trust me, in a week, you'll see another one and you'll be like, why is that not a suspension? I'm like, because it's the NHL. And that's how they view hits from behind right now. They're too gutless to want to crack down on them. If they actually wanted them out of the game, it would be very simple and they would crack down on them. Very simple. Send a message, start cracking down, and guess what would happen? Players would stop hitting from behind. Because you know what they did crack down on? Headshots. Remember the old chicken wing? You used to see it all the time. Now, if you see it, everybody notices and it's a suspension, but you don't see it. The players adjusted. They still hit guys hard. They just keep their elbows in. They're not walking around, bark, 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 chicken wing all over the place. They're not doing it. So if the NHL wants to eliminate hits from behind, they're going to have to discipline them. But I'm not holding my breath. Hey, Greg's beautiful day. 3 more years of Connor's fantastic. We're very lucky as fans. His generosity regarding his salary is over the top. He deserves a great deal of appreciation from folks in our area. And that one is from Smoky Lake Trumpet. I do like this one from J-Rock. Hey, boys, I'm pretty sure the next 8 years are looking good for the Oilers. Source, Leon Draisaitl's contract. Bingo. Right? Like if McDavid leaves, like they're dead in the water. So let's hypothetically say he does leave. Right? Now, would McDavid just walk in free agency for nothing? I don't think so. I think if he says, you know what, I'm looking for a change, because any team that signs him, none of them is going to be competitive enough, will have the cap space to just absorb his contract, right? They're not going to. So they're going to have to shed some salary. So you could make a deal. Now, you're not going to get great fair market value deal, but you get something if it happens in 3 years. But then you'd still have 5 years left of Leon Draisaitl. And if you don't think for a second that Leon Draisaitl would love the opportunity to show that he can lead a team, oh, you're kidding yourself. He very much would. And that's why, hey, they still got some other pieces that are pretty solid around after Connor McDavid. So, but it's 3 years from now. And I will say this, today will be the last day we mention trading Connor McDavid, because I think it'd be a waste of time, and I'm not going to do it on the show. So just letting you know, that would not be happening. Hey, Greggs, what do you make of Matthews and McDavid free agents at the same time? Nothing. I don't think Connor McDavid said, hey, I'm only going to sign 2 years so Matthews and I can be free agents at the same time. I know Toronto fans are going to be like, oh, yeah, this is what it means. Well, the Toronto fans for a decade have said he's going there. Stop listening to them. It's a waste of your time. Okay? They've been saying it for years he's going there. Why would he go there? Honestly, are they closer to winning? Are they going to be closer in 3 years? We'll see. Lots can change. I actually think Toronto's a good team. I think Toronto's going to be competitive. I don't think they're better than Edmonton, though. But I think they're a good team. And I think there's a very good chance both of those teams could win their divisions. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if it happened. So, hey, Gregor, the clock's always been ticking. For McDavid, it started when he first went to junior. We'll win. McDavid will hoist the cup, and Edmonton will rejoice. Mark in St. Albert. Hey, guys, McDavid loaned Edmonton $10 million. He'll get paid in 3 years when the cap climbs even higher. Possible. Very, very possible. So, there you go. What'd you say, Cons?
2-0 Mariners.
Oh, wow. Hey,
Midway through the third.
Who are you rooting for in that series?
Mariners, I guess. I like the big dumper. What can I say? He was on our fantasy baseball team this year, and he was fun to watch. So, for that reason and that reason only, I guess I like the Mariners.
Okay, it's not a bad reason.
And you know what? Loved Griffey growing up. Always played his baseball game, and I was always the Mariners. So, yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I kind of root for Seattle. I think it would be, it'd be a fun series. I think the Jays, the way they're playing right now, they're the number 1 seed, so they're going to come in the favorite either way. So we'll see.
And I'd love to see how Jays fans would travel to Seattle in the playoffs.
Well, they're not traveling very much across the states right now. A lot of Canadians are like, thanks, no thanks. I think there are some for sure, but there haven't been a ton. Hey, guys, all the talk about the Oilers re-signing guys and Ekholm being next, what do you think that means for Kulak? Steady presence on the back end, steps up in the playoffs. Any chance they re-sign him? From Vinny. Well, Vinny's a fantastic question. So let's say they re-sign Ekholm. Now you've got Nurse, Wallman, Bouchard, Ekholm all under contract for probably at least 2 more years. We'll see what happens with Regula. It's way too early yet to say he's a regular NHLer. Then you got Emerson. He's played 1 year full-time. We'll see what he is. So I think Kulak is a guy that they would evaluate at the end of the year. It's not like they've got a lot of young left shot defensemen in the system. Now, you do have Jake Wallman, right? And so maybe Ekholm becomes your third line, your third pair left defender, and you move Wallman and Nurse on the left side, and you have Bouchard, and maybe they're confident in Regula at that point. He can, if he's going to play second pair, we'll see. Lots has to happen. I think Kulak's probably one that if it does happen, it happens probably closer to the end of the season, just because they want to evaluate and see where things go. So that's kind of how I would view it. Hey, boys, with all the money they saved on McDavid, where they spend it? Well, they're not going to spend it. I'll say this. They were trying to get Mikko Rantanen last year, and all that happened was Dallas had a better offer than what the Oilers could offer. And that's going to happen. But they went big game hunting for Rantanen at the time. Now, I don't know if that meant they would have signed him to an extension after that. Who knows? But I do not rule out Edmonton looking to get a big winger. And a top winger for sure. So on behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a great Tuesday evening. Enjoy the games. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet GMC. Buick 0% for 84 months on half-ton trucks. 0% finance. Is that even a thing? 0% interest? Even Mike had to read it twice. This is what he tells me. So go find out for yourself at northgategm.com. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
The Edmonton Oilers recalls forward Ike Howard from the Bakersfield Condors and their corresponding move loaning forward James Hamlin to Baco. They kick off their season tomorrow night just after 8 o'clock at Rogers Place hosting the Flames. 1 game down in the NHL season. Defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers knocking off the Blackhawks 3-2. Coming up in about 10 minutes, got Rangers and Penguins. And at 8:30, it's the Avs in Los Angeles. Major League Baseball, Jays in action taking on the Yankees just after 6 o'clock. Game 3 of the ALDS, Toronto up 2-0. And right now in the other ALDS, Mariners up on the Tigers 2-0, bottom of the third, with that series tied at a game apiece. And in the NBA preseason, Cavs lead the Bulls 49-39 in the second. Later tonight, you got Timberwolves taking on the Pacers. Some news from the NFL today. LA Chargers acquiring linebacker Odafe Oweh and a 7th-round pick from the Baltimore Ravens for safety Elohi Gilman and a 5th-round pick. And the Cincinnati Bengals bringing in quarterback Joe Flacco plus a 6th-rounder from the Browns for a 5th-round pick. The move comes after the Browns moved Dylan Gabriel into the starting role, and Jake Browning has struggled in the absence of the injured Joe Burrow. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, we've got Fox Sports Radio all night long. Live local coverage resumes tomorrow morning,